We weren't live. God damn it. Yeah, Pete, you can get mad at me, but look, Pete, before you get mad, and hey, everyone, it was a great intro. Before you get mad, Peter, how much do I brag to you about being on fucking Rumble now?
I'm not angry. I
am. Guys, it's going to be a show. Like, and again, this is why people don't, like, we literally just did fucking 4 or 5 minutes showing clips. Now I got to show the clip again because I hit go live and then I must do something and the go live doesn't take. So I assume we're live and we're not live. None of that shit was live. We just saw Peter had the fucking solution to fucking Israel, fucking Iran, which included a lot of Cyclone B and a lot of fucking patience and a lot of aggression. You missed we had 2 fucking dick jokes in there. God damn it!
That's what upsets you the most. You're big.
And by the way, no, Texas Patrick B, you weren't closer. We started 5 minutes ago, and then I look up in the corner. I'm like, I wonder how many people are watching on YouTube, and it just says scheduled. I'm like, you motherfucker.
So let me ask you, Gene, how many people did this actually affect? Relax,
Peter. I don't know how much longer. Like, Peter, ask me what I'm doing tonight. Ask me what I'm doing tonight.
What are you doing tonight?
Stand up. Doing stand-up comedy. Go into a building and telling jokes to people live, okay? Rather than fucking putting up with this horseshit online garbage. Rumble just fucking kicked in. Jesus fucking Christ.
So here we are. Now we're live. 3:08. No big deal. We'll go an extra 8 minutes. Whatever. It's not a big deal. Relax. I love the Johnny Claire. I'm a monster. The one thing he heard is your sick comments.
I just can't. I just want. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. I don't know why. I never said, Pete, someday I'm going to be the fucking best streamer in the world.
Of course, thank you, Maddie. I think the reason it doesn't go automatic is because they want you to control to make sure nothing goes before you want it to go. I guess. Right. You got to hit the go button, the start button.
By the way, thank you, Joe. Still a great show, but you fucking worry about people on YouTube. So let me tell you, you're not really Joe Burrow. I still think you're kind of a weasel. You do things for, these are people that do things for clicks. And I don't mind calling them out because it doesn't affect my life at all. He's not serious. It's not like I really broke his heart, but he does that because he's living a fake life online. I'm sure he has a wonderful life in real life. He was swimming with, if I may, I talked to these people in real life. That guy was swimming with the manatees the other day. That's what Loads calls it on when he's feeling a little backed up. Gene, we got to go swimming with the manatee today. And it is a sea cow. Am I right, Pete? I milk that sea cow, don't I? The other 2 are better. I'm forcing it.
You are forcing it.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Absolutely nothing. So
he says he is Joe Burrow and he dates 10s. Who is? I don't even care. That's not important to me. I'm glad he's here. I'm glad everybody's here who's here.
Oh, me too. Me too. But, okay, we have to show that clip we opened with. You talk to them whilst I find it, Peter. But the fucking cop in Florida, which we were discussing. Am I correct, Loads?
Yes. I bet you most people on here have seen it. How many people are on here? I think they've seen it. But you can show, it's a quick
Joe Burrow, that's all that matters, Peter. So thorough Joe Burrow's on here. We got about 50. That's not bad for a fucking
I like whoever TR Honey is. Half the fun is in the chaos.
Oh, yeah, that's our merch guy. He reached out to me today because we took down the In-Out Water page. And by the way, shout out to fucking, I put this up, I love it. Fucking our boy Vagabond was like, by the way, Freeloads Friday, that was great. I guess you guys couldn't see this because we weren't live. Waiting for Pete's sake, we'll give you that. Loads and Legend 28, you saw that sticker, right?
By the way, let me tell EK Legend, I told my wife, that's how I know I've made it. My name has now appeared on one of those things that says running in 2028. I never thought I'd see that.
By the way, Frankie compilation almost brought a tear in my eye. Fuck Gavin McGinnis. Yeah, he's another one. Fuck Gavin. Like, there are days like, oh, what are I doing? I'm like, thank God I'm not over there. Fuck him. He's such a fucking disingenuous opportunity. They just, Anyway, this is what I was showing, and we fucking loved it before I realized it didn't go live. Because as I've said countless times, all that matters is not going out to a comedy club and making people laugh. It's staying at home in your fucking boxes and fucking trying to entertain fucking pieces of...
Hold on. Why can't it be both?
Because It wasn't before, and I'm too old to start now. Fuck me. Here we go. I love me some Dave.
Why?
Love me some Dave fucking Rubin. What'd you say?
Answer? Because
what?
That's what Mom used to say when I would say why. She'd just give me because. Done.
Yeah.
Get out.
No, Peter, trust me. Like if I was, I'll say it. It's what I said Wednesday before I hurt 3 more feelings. Like I'm used to being good at what I do. I'm not really that good at this. I'm very good at stand-up. Very good at spinning plates in the studio. Fucking, I'm not good at fucking sitting here saying, let me fucking entertain you fucking monkeys. Speaking of fucking monkeys, let's go to this fucking butte.
Stop you in the street and they're illegally blocking you. You got to do what you got to do. They're impinging on your rights. Of course,
because what he's about to talk about is it's the summer of love, Pete. And I'm getting like they're going to Philly's going to be a big hub apparently for this shit. Here we go.
I was misquoted and everything else by Newsweek and others, usual stuff. But then this video came out. If you think what DeSantis said, and DeSantis, you know, he's calm, he's collected, it's clear, he's a lawyer. He knows.
By the way, I don't care if you're annoyed with me pausing it. Go wait for Kevin Brennan, who I fucking have no problem with. Fucking this is him fucking addressing like just all. I forgot what I was going to say, but I'll pause it again in a second.
Knows how to cleanly lay things out. Here is the sheriff of Brevard County, Florida, and listen to his comments as it pertains to protesters. I am so proud to be a Florida man that I am going to smoke a gator tonight. And what else do? I'm gonna go shoot some shit and rob a CVS. No, we don't do that. No, we don't.
I love him.
All right, I'm gonna figure out some other Florida things in just a second, but watch this clip. It's amazing.
So I'm gonna break it down for you. All right.
Matt
Somebody
Ivy
wants to know what I mean by turn violent. All right. This is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired because we are going to run you down and put you in jail.
Tired.
If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave. In our county, you're most likely going to get run over.
I love this.
The street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have
cute.
Here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop. You're watching what's taking place out there. You're seeing police officers that are being attacked, being spit on, being put in harm's way just for doing their jobs. You're seeing ICE agents that are being targeted for doing their jobs. And you're seeing obstructionists that are doing all of this, standing in the way of law and order.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do it. What's his name?
Wayne Ivy.
Wayne Ivy from Brevard County. I mean, that is just phenomenal. That is how you do it. We will not put up with this bullshit. There are laws, and if you decide to take them into your own hands, you are going to pay the price. You know, he would if they ever remake Fugitive. Remember Tommy Lee Jones?
I mean, that is like obviously that should go without saying. Okay. And of course, we're going to get to Iran, but let me ask you something, Pete. Okay. Like, and you said it, like a lot of these people are paid. Do you think the majority of the protesters are illegals? No, the majority of the protesters are fucking, they're Americans, right? They're citizens and most of them paid, right?
I believe a good portion of the protesters are paid. What I've recently heard on MSNBC, take it for what it's worth, is a lot of the protesters are the children of the illegal immigrants because they're legal. So a lot of it's them, supposedly. And I don't know that for a fact. I definitely believe they're paid. And I just saw that Anna Paulina Luna supposedly is calling on Soros and another guy to come testify in Congress regarding paying these people to go to these rallies and be radical and destroy shit. And she said, if you don't come, you're going to get subpoenaed. And if you don't honor the subpoena, you're going to go to jail.
You know, Peter had once threatened me. He was having a bad week, and he said, if I don't come, you're going to get subpoenaed. I was going to say subpoenas, but then I said subpoenas. All right. You know what? Why don't I just stop? And Pete, why don't I just leave it up to the pros? Shall we? Let's take a look, because who hits the ground running every day with these, Pete? Why, it's Curtis John. It's Curtis John. Make it a little bigger. Give the guy props. Where'd we go? Hold on. Maxine caught Geno jerking off yesterday, and she was just furious. Pete told Geno to keep cranking. Huh? Or what does Geno call a stepladder in New Jersey? A family reunion, Pete.
Yeah. Look.
He's like that guy with the two. He's like got the $2 bills at the mint. Thank you. How about $2 more? Hey, Pete, what's 10 inches long, extremely hard, and hanging off the stepladder? A hammer, you disturbed pervert.
He's like,
because you thought it was your penis. You thought it was your penis. You did. Here's $2. Last week, Maxine Loads called Pete a pervert. Pete was so upset. His pecker slipped out of Geno's mouth, and he fell off the stepladder. Let me explain that one, Pete. You were acting perverse. You were offended that your wife called you a pervert, so much so that in the middle of your perverse actions, you fell off the stepladder.
Yeah, you are out of your mind.
This is Curtis John. What's the difference between Geno and a golf course? It takes more strokes for Pete on the golf course for each hole. He's saying you're perverse and a terrible golfer, Peter.
I get it.
That's what our boy Curtis says.
I'm so happy he's here. What was frightening me? I think everybody looks forward to it. I like that you blew it. The joke isn't, if I don't come, you're going to suck penis. As opposed to...
There you go. Look at that. All caught up. Yeah, pretty solid stuff. So yeah, I think it's hilarious that I don't know what's funnier, that policeman, Matt Ivy, excuse me, or the fact that it needs to be said.
Well, I think, like we said before you started the stream, what he's doing, he's basically, that's it now. The adults are in charge. All this tomfoolery.
Let me explain. See, he's blaming you for the perverse stuff. We love John. Pete, would you focus on the show? We're trying to do a show and you're reading the chat that I'm giggling at.
All I'm saying is I think that's how most people in this chat, and actually I'm going to say 70% of America feels now, is the right people are in charge. This garbage has got to stop, and that's going to be the end of it. And the law is taking matters into its own hand, the real law, not the fake, whatever makes you feel good law. And they're moving on. And like I said, the court initially ruled in California that Trump had to return control of the National Guard to the governor. And then the appellate court immediately, 3 hours later, ruled no, Trump still has control of the National Guard. And by the way, I did look at that section.
How? Look, this is how I lose. This is another reason I have to stop streaming. I lose confidence in myself as a comedian when this has been sitting there. Peter, that's barely. That's like 8 and 5. That's 13 letters. King of the Load. Let me explain something. King of the Road, but you, Peter, you are King of the Load.
I believe the libs should get killed in midterms. Just speaking.
Hold on. Let me do it proper. Hold on. Let me get. There you go. That's better.
No, there. Is that better? There. I centered it for you. I was just going to say, in New Jersey anyway, we just had our primary for the governor election in November, and if the Republicans with Chitterelli can't win this one, I don't know what New Jersey.
So if they can't, something's amiss, because this woman's a terrible candidate. She's a seated member of the House of Representatives who voted to keep men and women's sports, to keep a tax on tips, keep a tax on overtime, not increase the SALT deductions for people in New Jersey, which it really affects. So if they can't beat her, that's their own problem. It's a disgrace. So are you saying it's down to just those two, Citarelli and this dopey broad?
Mickey Sherrill, yes, it's down to those two. The primary was Tuesday. Yes, there you go.
Your running mate has a problem.
No, he's right. We're on the same page. When we start slicing this stuff up, we're on the same page there. She's terrible. Like, you can't vote for that person. How? I just, if somebody's going to vote for her, just ask. So you agree men should be in women's sports? Because she does. She voted for it. Not that she agrees with it. She made a vote for that.
Yeah,
you know
Peter.
what I mean?
She
voted against the big, beautiful bill that would have added more salt deductions for people in New Jersey. Which, by the way, that's
when you do Peter, when you do your own show with actual guests, I'm going to say it again. It's like when we were having trouble with the TriCaster, and Steve. I said Steve was working with 1 foot out the door, like 1 foot on the gas pedal, 1 foot out the door, and fucking once we got the new TriCaster, Peter, he was like he was 10 times funnier if that's possible. Like, look, we get it. You're dreamy, Pete.
Oh my God.
Mr. White Nose.
The mule cast hits on the head because you were asking, and we go all over the place. When Walz was sitting there with the other two governors.
Oh, we have clips of that. Do you want to see a clip, or you just want to get into it?
I would just say, because I don't know what's more. What do you want to do first, the Iran thing or the governor's thing? Let's do the Iran thing first. Are you care?
All right, we'll do the Iran thing first. But before we do that, let me point something out. Can you say hi to Diesel Cat? Thanks for the $5. Can you say hi to his friend Amy? Pop your tits out. Keanu like that. Amy's not here. Shout out, and by the way, Tosca, ladders for sale or rent. I don't know what that means. I am sure I don't know what that means.
I am sure that I cannot believe that sitting in the garage doing that with that ladder. How many ladder aficionados knew it immediately? Oh, it's a little giant. It's amazing to me.
What is this? By the way, shout out to our boy fucking Cal Patty. I love him. This is, what did he write? He's like, back when Chicago had a decent mayor for a Democrat. Do you know who this is, Peter? Before I hit play?
Oh my God. I'm guessing it's they named the freeway after him. Oh my God. The big mayor of Chicago from the
Dewey?
Is it Dewey?
No, Peter, no, I'm wrong. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Dewey. I was there with Franklin. I used to know he's big time. I'm going to know the name as soon as I hear it.
And very definitely. That an order be issued immediately under his signature.
He ran Chicago.
To shoot to kill any arsonist or anyone with a Molotov.
Oh, Mayor Daley. I was close. I said Dewey.
Yes. Fire a building because they're potential murderers.
Oh, listen to him, by the way.
Immediately under his signature. To shoot to kill any arsonist or anyone with a Molotov cocktail in their hand in Chicago. To fire a building because they're potential murderers. And to issue a police order to shoot, to maim, or cripple anyone looting any stores in our city. And above all, the crime of arson.
Yeah, so again, a simpler time. Am I right, Loads? A simpler time. That is not Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago.
But that is outstanding. Outstanding referencing. Abe Froman. So I was, in 68, when they were having those riots, or whatever, I'm sure some people would say, well, he's a racist. That's why I said it, because it's probably all the blacks that were rioting. And the Democrats are the biggest racists going. So I'm sure people would have made that comment about him, but not now, which is amazing how the media has tried to flip that. It looked like fucking bulldog. Yeah. I mean.
Well, let's go to.
And the problem is, you know what the problem is? The problem is somehow we got away from what Daley said and from what that cop said today. I don't know how, but somehow we got away from that. And that's good that we're getting back to it. Because all I'm saying is, you live your life.
Can I tell you how we got away from it, Peter? Can I tell you how?
Sure, Gene.
I believe it's white guilt. I believe they fucking, like, there's a meme going around now, and it's like, it's a gas tank, it's a gas gauge, and it's just sitting on E, and it says white guilt. Because it's over. It's over. And people felt so guilty, they started to believe that shit. They're like, oh, these poor fucking people. Like, because again, Peter, remember us? We grew up in a mansion, like, because our fucking rich white ancestors came over on a boat and they said, get a slave and go be doctors. Remember that?
Yes, but I believe white guilt only affected a certain type of person. And we weren't that type of person. And the type of person it affected are the type of people you still see supporting the crazy Democrats. College women with a college PhD, the old people who just bought in and aren't going to get out, and young women who are indoctrinated in schools and don't want to believe that how could the stuff my professors and teachers were saying be wrong? And the professors and teachers are saying it because that's what they were taught in college, and they went out to the schools and just, it was self-fulfilling. And the people who sat in those classrooms are like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are in charge now, and they've moved on, and they're running over those other people. They're basically telling them, like that guy said, go ahead, believe that garbage, go out and act a fool with your buffoonery, and you're paying a price, and the rest of us are moving on to civilized society. That's all we want. I saw a video of a protest in Tampa.
Go on.
And the light went red. The protesters walked out in the middle of the street, held up their signs. The light went green. Protesters moved to the side of the road and let the cars go by. That is a peaceful protest that is allowed. You are not infringing on regular people's rights to live their life. You're getting your message across. I have no problem with that. I don't. It's like the video they had of the black woman got out of her car in L.A. and there's these two young white folk, you know what I mean, whose meter's still full, and she's like, "You gotta get out of my way. I gotta go to work." And they're like, "No, this is more important than you getting to work."
I saw that clip,
I'm
and it was
"Are you
like fucking.
kidding me?"
When the chick goes, "I gotta go to work," guy's like, "Oh, work." You fucking.
Mhm.
By the way, and again, we welcome all types of it. It's like when Johnny Claire is like, "Pete's right. Women shouldn't be educated." Clip it. Yeah.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
No, but he did say women should not be miseducated. Women should not be
Nobody should be
indoctrinated.
miseducated. And there's some young men. Look, okay, there's some young men who are buying into the bullshit too, but it's just such a smaller percentage. They're not figuring into any of the statistics.
He said
They're
figuring in. Because a lot of the people that are figuring into the statistics are they're nilthy figures. Am I right, Pete? They're nilthy figures.
I'll say this about because people want the Iran-Israel situation. I heard something today that Trump told Iran they had 60 days. They got to get something settled, and today was day 61, or yesterday was day 61. You know. And from what I've heard, we're not getting involved in this in any way. Well, I don't think we should. So I don't know. I did hear what they're saying in the chat. We've all heard the same news. They killed a lot of the Iranian nuclear scientists. They killed some of the main figures.
They took 3 people out.
Right. They killed some of the main figures in the Iranian military. All those things. I also heard they got. Yeah. I also heard they got one of the, I guess, bunker buster bombs and got in because a lot of these facilities are like 300 feet under the ground. Johnny Claire, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but yeah, let them fight it out. It's their problem. It's really not. How's that our problem? And I saw that oil prices all of a sudden went up. What a joke. We're no longer indebted to the Middle East for our oil. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be a blip on the radar. There's no reason. We make our own now. We're going to produce our own energy. And I just don't know if Israel. I don't know if Israel has what it takes to.
Johnny, you made Pete. Johnny Claire made Pete bust up. 2 figures stole my truck.
After they got us to the moon, he tagged it well. See, the movie was Hidden Figures, Gene.
Hidden Figures. I get that. And the other thing that I love about this, and shout out to Trump, he said it like, look, you had 60 days. So my question to you is, like when they're like, hey, we had nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah. But now it's starting to seem like, you know, someone sent me a clip. It's like we gave him a chance. Like, well, what about all the people that died? And Trump goes, they didn't die of COVID. Did you see that? It's like,
yeah, well, yeah. They asked. So he was talking to Dana Bash. Why I love her. So at any rate, he said
it'd be great if Dana Bash married, like, because she'd keep her last name. Wouldn't it be great if she married a guy whose last name was fucking head in? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great, Pete?
Is there really somebody out there who has a last name fucking head in?
Actually, his name would have to be Herf fucking head in. Hey, can you say hi to my friend Herf fucking head in?
What? Frankie's been busy in the Middle East. I was going to say.
Back to you, Peter. Dana Bash.
Okay, so Trump told her that the people he was negotiating with are now dead. And that's when she said, so let me get this right. I want to make sure I have this right. They were killed by the Israelis. And Trump said it wasn't the flu or COVID. He is
so
friggin'
good.
great. So, you know, I think if, and maybe that sends a message. Look, these guys didn't negotiate well. You better get your next negotiating team together, and they better figure it out, because you know this is what's going to happen now, and this is the situation we're in now. I don't know how much Iran has fired back yet, but the fact that they're all Middle Easterners, because apparently I did read something where Israelis got into Iran and planted a lot of bombs in Iran before this took place. Sort of when they gave out the cell phones and blew them all up. This was a situation where they got in the country and I guess planted bombs all over the country and then blew them up. So,
really,
oh my
because
god,
they fucking targeted one of the guys right in his fucking apartment. I didn't realize what I was looking at, but once I saw it, it was fucking great. Like it's just like it'd be like if there was a giant hole. You know what it looked like? The first Ghostbusters when her apartment fucking blew up. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like.
Right, Mossad infiltrated. Most likely, the Mossad who's ever working with them. I can't imagine CIA didn't have a hand in it. That's just a given now, I think. But it's, you know, far away. They're keeping it away from Trump and us, which they should. This is their business out there. But Trump said, I'll work with Iran. I'll trade with Iran. They just can't have a nuclear weapon. That's all. And they don't want to hear that. So this is what you got. Again, like he said to Zelensky, he should have said to them, you can't have a nuclear weapon. You don't hold any of the cards. You see what I'm saying? If you held the cards, you could tell the U.S. they can't have a nuclear weapon. You don't. We even got our own oil now. So, you know, whatever happens over there, it's going to be your problem.
Well, I'll also add this, because a lot of people are saying, you know, like this is another one where the left is going to be like, told you Trump was going to start World War III. And anyone dumb enough to say that just ignores the fact that fucking how much money was it? Oh, I got to unplug this. I'm losing my...
Trump, this isn't World War III. You know, back in the day, I would, you know, they said, oh, World War III is going to start in the Middle East. Who's fighting with Iran? Who's going to join Iran in this? Yes, Johnny Claire, Ukraine did go up their nukes for security assurances. I know that. I get it. They did, and that was a whole thing. What happened to all their nuclear material? Ukraine gave up their nukes for security assurances. I do remember that. That was during my teaching career. And then there was a big thing of where'd all their nuclear, you know, the enriched uranium go. I remember all that. So that's pretty good. Iran.
But you realize, yeah.
That's what Trump wants to build here, by the way. That's what Trump wants to build here. That's what Trump wants to build for us. That same Golden Dome.
Golden Dome?
Yeah. No, right. Nobody's blaming Trump. They might try eventually to blame, but nobody would believe it. I agree with Mr. Wade 100%. You can say Trump, Trump, Trump all you want, but nobody cares. They say, okay, buddy, whatever. Move on, loser.
Yeah. But how much money did, like, oh, no, you know they're going to be like, I've seen it, Peter, you don't see the Twitter, but a lot of the Twitter, not a lot, but a very popular opinion on Twitter is, see, Trump was going to start World War III when he didn't when he was in office. Biden put all this shit into place. Fucking Biden gave them how much fucking money did he free up for Iran? Fucking remember, like, the money that Biden, like, freed up? Billion. Wasn't it like Obama. $6 billion?
Yes, that was Obama.
Oh, no, I'm not crazy. Biden, I remember Biden did it like over the past, like in his last 6 months, his last year or two in office.
You're not talking about the pallets of money and the Iranian nuclear deal. You're talking about something else. But yeah, definitely.
I just Googled Biden, Iran money. Biden handed over $16 billion to Iran.
Okay.
Yeah. Biden continues Iran's access to $10 billion just weeks after its proxy killed 3 American soldiers. What? And again, Trump is right, because there's no way fucking the Biden that fucking was just a piece of shit criminal for fucking 50 years would have done this shit, but fucking it was just people that wanted to fucking, you know, push for fucking war. It's insane. Right. Am I wrong?
No, no. It's CIA, deep staters, all those people we talked about that nobody wants to hear, with the USAID money and all that other money just flowing all over the place. And by the way, I saw Hans Gruber put that.
Yeah, fucking Pete said that before. Sometimes he'll finish up and be like, look, so money, it's flowing all over the place. That is what I say. That's exactly what I say. What? Huh?
Such a
Nothing?
stretch. Don't stretch, Gene. It'll be natural when it's something.
I didn't think that was that bad. Plus, I'm mad that but yeah, I'll give you that. Just this week, after Iran-backed drone strike killed 3 American soldiers, Biden has approved a sanctions waiver giving Tehran continued access to more than $10 billion. Money he can use to import goods, repay debts, and fucking kill Jews. Unbelievable.
Right, and I was going to say what Hans Gruber said is sort of what I was getting to before you stopped me. That back in the day, I believe, these countries are now going to fall in line and help Iran. I don't believe Russia and China believe Iran's the hill to die on here. I really don't. Russia went through Afghanistan; they know what's going on. I just don't think Okay, so Russia and China join Iran. All right, and then what? They destroy Israel. Okay, so now Israel's destroyed. Okay, then we move on. I mean, I just don't see. Maybe the UN and NATO will come in and help Israel if that happens, and then we'll get involved. But I just don't see it becoming a major conflict. And again, the best part about this is I could be wrong. I just don't see it. That's all.
Well, your running mate, EK Legend, says Iran won't attack any U.S. assets because they fear the wrath of that ballistic missile being sliced into Pete's silo. Jesus, I was trying to fix the word. Iran won't attack any U.S. assets because they fear the wrath of that ballistic missile being siloed in Pete's Levi's. Oh, my God. It's perfect the way it is. And I thought you were going slice. That's pretty good. Is that true, Mr. Is that true, Candidate Visconti?
Siloed in my pants.
Siloed in your pants.
Oh, my God.
China et al. Have chaser satellites ready to grapple ours and push them out of orbit to destroy our communication ability if shit goes down. Ooh, okie dokie.
That may occur. That may well occur. I just, if that happens, we're all screwed. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do? And how are we not? We have nothing to go back at China with on that. So is this just mutually assured destruction of a different nature? It's not nuclear bombs. We're just going to destroy each other's power supplies and abilities to communicate and move about and get money, share information, pump water. Like, if that's what it comes down to, I guess it's going to be that way everywhere. I can't imagine the U.S. doesn't have the same capabilities to screw up their countries as they have to do ours. I think the fast way to strengthen our country would be to take away women's rights to vote.
Now, I know that's kind of a joke, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't know. Pete, I don't know. Like, every woman, like I said this during the election, every woman like that walked out of the ballot, and it's like, who'd you vote for? Kamala, she's a girl. It's like, you can't vote anymore. You're the reason fucking people get a bad reputation. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Same thing. It's like, I voted. Like if they said I voted for Trump, because and I'll make fun of the right. Why'd you vote for Trump? Oh, because Kamala's a woman and she's black. I don't want you voting for Trump. I don't want you voting for Trump. And there's a lot of people like, I don't think anyone voted the latter way, but I think a lot of women are like, of course I'm going to vote for the girl. And I think Creep Boot has a fucking point. Not all women, but a lot of fucking people fuck it up for a lot of other fucking people. Am I wrong?
See, well, what you're basically saying is people who don't agree with you F it up for a lot of other people based on the reason they don't agree with you. They're voting because she's a woman or she's black or whatever, and not on her policies.
You know how I read this? They weren't booing, they were chanting Blue Orange. I was chanting Blue Orange. Smartass. I voted for Trump because Kamala was black. And I believe him. Because Smartass is in the middle of the road with a lot of his... I got to get my clanger for that. Peter, talk to Smartass. I got to get my clanger for that.
I would say, I would think about, and I've heard people talk about, you should only be able to vote if you have skin in the game, like you're paying taxes. Or any sort of tax. So if you own property, you're paying property tax, you should be able to vote, which is how it was originally. I don't know about that because, what was that? I don't know what just happened in Gene's apartment.
That's the clang. That's how good. That's a good a clang. By the way, I'm such a klutz. Like, I had to wake up early to do a radio call in, and Kiana was up late, and she's trying to sleep, and I dropped one of them on the floor. Oh, on the kitchen tile floor. If that doesn't wake her up, nothing fucking will.
So I see what Tosca put there, and I find he's showing that if you have white skin. God. Okay, so what Tosca put up there, my question is, I don't disagree with that.
Hans moment. Hold on, I got to give him one more clank. Smartass is hitting it out of the park today.
How does that square with NATO? Germany's giving guarantees Ukraine, and France is supporting Iran. They're both NATO members. If you know what I mean, if stuff goes down, Germany and French have to fight with NATO. So I'm wondering how that's going to shake out. Just saying, because I'm not saying he's wrong. I believe that's what's going on. I believe the French are stupid enough to support the Iranians, and the Germans giving guarantees to Ukraine. Why don't they keep their mouths shut and worry about their own problems? But
what's going on?
Oh, Aunt Sherry, I'm doing my show. This is Gene. Aunt Sherry's here.
Aunt Sherry! Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand how great, like I say that I love our family. Like, Aunt Sherry's the best. Trevor, how's Trev doing?
He's doing good, but I'm the lucky one.
What do you? Oh, I'm gonna do a shot of whiskey in a moment. And the other great thing about Aunt Sherry is, like, Uncle Greg, he's a chick, so he's quiet, but he's really. Aunt Sherry trained him well. He gets a couple in him. He's that guy. He's the guy that's so quiet, and then you get a couple in him. He's the funniest guy in the room. He just picks his spots. I love him.
He opens up. I don't know what happens. Yeah.
That is the Lucky One lemonade from Dave Portnoy. It supports it supports animal shelters or whatever. It is tremendous. A great drink.
Dave Portnoy is the one telling us, like, we can't do Jew jokes. Remember? He's like, oh, it's not funny all of a sudden. When he used to do the most filthy Jew jokes. And I know Aunt Sherry, and Aunt Sherry will tell you it's redundant to say filthy and Jew. She says that all. Look, I'm doing Aunt Sherry. Look, see, she laughs. She knows it's a joke.
Oh, my, yes. There you go.
I love her. She's a legend. This is a legend, this woman.
So that's another product placement here. You got the little giant ladder, the shock earphones, and the Lucky One lemonade.
The Lucky One lemonade.
Oh, it's good stuff. By the way, Aunt Sherry is from Florida, the land of sanity. We were showing one of the police chiefs or sheriffs in your town saying, if you punch us, you're gonna go to the hospital. If you aim a gun at us, your family's gonna be directed to your remains. It's a beautiful state you live in, Aunt Sherry.
No, but the best part is our governor says, if you run them over, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
You can.
I just listened to a half-hour interview because I love that guy, Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin, he's in Florida now. He got the fuck out of LA. He did a half-hour interview with your boy, God, DeSantis. I don't know why I blacked out.
Here's why women should vote. Sherry voted for Trump twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
4 or 5 times in Florida. Let you keep going.
Ron says, if you don't feel safe, just keep going. Just run them over.
But in Aunt Sherry's defense, when she walked out of the box, she's like, I voted for Trump, and Kamala's a black woman. Didn't she say that, Peter? Look at her laughing. I'm killing with Aunt Sherry.
I might have said that. I don't know.
I might have said that. I don't know.
They were watching the what you call it trial.
Karen Reed trial.
The woman who backed over a cop.
Yeah, but she didn't. Do you think she did it, Aunt Sherry?
You know what? I think there's too much reasonable doubt, but I have watched this trial. Greg thinks she did it.
I have no idea. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I got no idea.
Anyone that's from what's that, Cher?
Greg said death firing squad for her. I think there's too much reasonable doubt.
By the way, I just realized you guys are at the beach, and that's the green screen of the ladder, correct?
Yes.
That's nice. Well,
that's how impressive the green screen is.
Anyone that's following that trial, and Cher, MP, I think we can all agree, it's just a bunch of dirty Boston cops. I'm sorry, but it is.
The guy's name who died, he was a Boston cop named like John O'Keefe.
John O'Keefe.
I'm like, you couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? He's out of Central
Yeah.
Casting.
Yeah,
I'm a cop.
The dog
Yeah, and
they sell the
and
dog.
you listen to the testimony, and they matter-of-factly discuss how many drinks. Well, we had 9 drinks, and then we're like, what? We want to keep partying, so we drive in a snowstorm. You know, it's just like you're all fucking. I can't. I don't think. I definitely think beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't even think there should have been a mistrial. It's like, no, there's no way this is beyond a reasonable doubt. That's how fucking corrupt Boston is. It's like, yeah, but those cops have people in their back fucking pocket.
By the way, I snapped because we were listening to part of it, and the prosecuting attorney was talking about O'Keefe's cell phone. And he's like, he had his cell phone on him. He didn't get any messages. There's no movement. He would have had steps on that thing. And I'm like, well, look at that. His cell phone would tell you all that. And you're basing the whole case on it. But when you have somebody go into a ballot box 100 times and their cell phone tells you they were there 100 times, that's not good enough to put them at the ballot box stuffing it. And there's video evidence as well. It only works in certain cases. It's amazing to me.
Interesting that you talk about video evidence, Pete, when our good friend Curtis John asks, who is this young lady, Pete? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to unmute it. I'm going to make it nice and big. Let's see.
Day. It's like, look, those hands would work great for my hog. You know, put them together and stroke it up and down. Pete saw me the other day. Like, look, those hands would work great for my hog. You know,
They look great on my hog? What the?
Pete saw me the other day. Like,
These are the
those
gifted
hands
people.
would work great for my hog. You know, put them together and stroke it up and down.
Jesus
Pete
Christ.
saw me the other day.
How long are you to play this?
Those
It's
hands
on
would work
repeat.
great for my hog.
Pete, this is called the reveal. It's amazing. It's amazing that your mule doesn't vanish there, Pete. But that should work for the girth, right, Pete?
I
No.
mean, that is ridiculous. What is the other good news in this? I ran into.
Love you, Aunt Sherry.
Why don't you, could you get me a beer since you're out
Yeah,
and
what do you
about?
want?
That surprised me. Did you get that other? Because we have a whole box in the fridge.
Look at that, Pete. Mulecast is right, Pete. Aunt Sherry would make a great guest on your new podcast.
You hear that? You could be guest number 1 on my new podcast. You got look at what goes on here.
Oh, Curtis John also had a God damn it. Curtis John also had a riddle for you, but of course I fucked it up.
I thought you were going to ask Corn Bomb and Sherry. What goes on in this world?
It's fantastic. Here we go. Oh, what's the difference between Pete and a dog? The dog comes when you whistle. Pete comes when the stepladder hits the floor. That is quite an obscure little diff, but I got what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, buddy. This guy gets it. She would make a great first guest on the show. So she would. It's a fact. Oh, jeez, Chris. How did I miss this? Peter, quick question. How's a chicken and Geno at Pete's house alike? They both always have pecker on their face. You get it because it's your pecker. And when I mean your
one.
Oh yeah, a little trash talk IPA from Yards.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I can. There you go.
Trash talk.
Oh,
The
you know what?
IPA.
It's green. The can's green.
Well, my shirt's green. So
Yeah, why does that show up?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying.
Why doesn't that key out, Gene? To use
What's that?
You know, why doesn't her shirt key out?
Because it's not a dark enough green.
Oh, okay.
Her green cans are a different color. Thank you. Aunt Sherry loved it.
What a gifted orator you are.
That we do. I thought you were going to ask porn bomb Aunt Sherry. $100 says the Load Show will see more episodes than Modern Day Man. We're not here to throw shade.
Yeah, I am no one to say anything about that. That's
Peter, please. It's just him trying to repackage. By the way, breaking news. Did you see this? Our boy Joey Dago sent me this. Share this page instead.
Israel wiped out. What's this?
Look at this, and then we'll get back to political shit. Ex-star Antonio Brown facing attempted murder charge in Miami. Did you see that?
I did, and all of us sort of chalked it up to Devontae Burfict hit. Seems like his
The what?
He got hit when he was playing for Pittsburgh. If you remember.
I remember the hit.
What?
Peter, I remember. Look, I'll hit Antonio Brown, and I'll just put perfect. Yeah,
Right.
if you don't understand, this is perfect. It comes up hit. If you don't understand, this is the cause of fucking immediate CTE.
That's what I'm saying. This guy was not a lunatic before this. I don't remember hearing a bad word about him in Pittsburgh. He was on Dancing with the Stars. And then this. I don't know what else it could be to make a human switch like that.
Here we go. Give me the moo-hoo. Good Lord.
No.
Lewis Harris is going to be flagged for this.
It's going to be flagged. I remember where I was when that. Are we going to see a replay? Here, let's see the replay.
Before this drive started, was talking on the sideline the whole time. It seemed like
oh dear.
Oh my goodness.
He got. How did he not get decapitated? Look at this.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Maybe it won't look as bad from this angle. Oh my God.
Who was the guy who hit him? Was it Burfict?
Montez Burfict.
I thought it was Burfict. Yeah.
Oh, it was the perfect hit. Watch this. Oh, this shouldn't be bad. This will look. Oh, move.
And what amazes me about that whole thing, the Steelers were given about 40
Oh, it
yards.
ends there because if the clip goes longer, you see them put his brain back in. Sorry, Pete. What were you saying?
No, and then, coaches came out on the field. It was the whole thing.
Yeah.
By the way, Matty Retro's here. For all your engraving and jewelry needs, please visit Peroni's, beautiful Mercer County, New Jersey. Gene will eventually get us back there when he brings his Jameson bottles for engraving.
I gotta get, dude, and I gotta get a couple flasks for the good guys to do a little clang. And by the way, I love when the guys pay it forward like this. Shout out to Tosca, who gifted a membership to Gino Bisconti, and that membership went to Bob Patrice. So what did Bob Patrice do? Bob Patrice gifted 5 fucking memberships.
Hey,
And Captain Trunk got one. Tosca got one. Hans Gruber got one. Curtis John said, I'll do the same. Antonio Brown. Oh, no, there you go. There you go. The whole bunch of Jaquan G. My guard. Oh, there you go. Curtis John was gifted. Creep Boot was gifted. Tosca was gifted. This Gigger Nets, it was gifted. He's another one that gets a fucking $100 flask. So thank you so much, fellas.
I just want. I thought I had subscribed to your locals. I am a Rumble stockholder, and I really think I don't even know if I'm subscribed to your locals. I thought I was. Nothing comes up. I don't know. So I really think
it's
that's
right on the
Rumble.
YouTube page. Like if you hit join on the YouTube page, you get the locals. By the way,
wait, you're saying YouTube page. It's not YouTube.
Excuse me. Right on the bottom of the Rumble page. By the way, I fucking got to get the subs up on your YouTube page, Pete.
Again, I love your YouTube page, Pete. What I'm saying, I just, like, on Rumble, I should know if I'm subscribed to your locals. It shouldn't be some sort of mystery to me. I thought I did it. I went through a process, and now I don't know if I'm on it or not, so I have to double check. I'm just saying for the good people at Rumble, part of being a part owner of the company, I'd like that to be much more clear to people.
Antonio, by the way, look at this shit. According to Jesus Christ, look at this. According to authorities, Brown was involved in an altercation following a celebrity boxing event. Always classy. When he allegedly took a firearm from a security officer. Jesus Christ!
He did what?
He allegedly took a firearm from a security officer and then discharged it during a scuffle. Surveillance footage shows him chasing a man and firing 2 shots, one of which grazed him in the neck. So he took someone's gun.
Yeah, security guard's gun.
That's bad.
Sounds like a scene out of Banshee.
Oh, so good. Watch this. Being sought on I refuse to look at the WAPO Video of Antonio Brown altercation services. Oh,
by the way,
Watch
Martine
the
brings
video.
this up. For anybody in the chat, I finished Banshee, and the worst part about the last episode is it's the last episode.
Oh,
They did a nice, I mean, it was a good job. I think they finished it how you sort of had to finish it, but I don't have a negative thing to say about that show. That's just what it is. I'm looking for something else to watch. It's that good. I'm struggling.
struggling. Look at this. A shot of Antonio Brown during the wildness. Are you nuts? Jesus. Antonio appearing to run. With the ad. Everything's an ad. Hold on. Where's the video? Warning, unsettling. Oh, here we go. Let's take a look at it on X so I don't have to deal with all this horse shit. Ex-NFL star Antonio Brown was arrested following an altercation. Led to gunshots fired by Brown. Come on. What do we got?
Back up, Pop!
Did someone yell, what the fuck?
Back up, Pop! Pop, back up!
Once again, love Florida people. We talked about this.
Sorry.
Yeah, he shot out.
They're saying this was out a month ago. See, why is it just making the news now? That's a whole thing right there.
Go! No, Shots is crazy. Shots, she's right there. You good?
Is he in there?
I have no idea.
I can't make
Shots
it
were
bigger.
fired. Back up, Pop! Pop, back up!
I love the guy that just goes, what the fuck?
So was that Antonio Brown knocking down the security guard and taking his gun?
I'm sorry, Pete, say again?
Was that a video of him knocking down the security guard and taking his gun? And
It would appear so. What's this one? That's just fucking dispersion. Go on. What's that, Pete?
I got nothing else. I have nothing else.
Is that him being arrested?
I guess they're saying
It can't be because he's being sought. Allegedly.
They're saying the video was out a month ago.
May 17th. Jesus Christ. Then how's
They
it
want to know
just
if you want to do
fucking,
a quick story time on you, though.
how's it just fucking
They
surfacing?
want to know if you want to do a
Right,
quick story
that's
time
what I'm
on you, though.
asking.
Oh, I guess because now he's being sought, right? Because the story is
I don't know.
the story is June 13th. That's today, you know?
I do, but I didn't even realize it was Friday the 13th.
It is indeed Friday the 13th, Kiki. Kiki was born on Friday the 13th. About a couple years ago, though.
By the way, there's a lot of those No More Kings rallies scheduled in North Jersey.
What?
If you want to go to one, and throughout New York, there's No More Kings rallies for tomorrow. The anti-Trump rallies. There's a lot of them scheduled for North Jersey.
Yeah, they're putting them all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Several videos from the night during which XN allegedly fired a gun following a box and leading to arrest have started to circulate again. Again? I missed it the first time. Am I right?
Yes. And
Fuck
Corsica's
is that?
correct. I heard Philly's supposed to be crazy tomorrow, too. I got a thing, a thing from ABC News came up on my phone regarding street closures already for Philly
Really?
tomorrow. Yeah, for the big No Kings rally.
Oh, that is so lame.
I mean,
How did they-
put snipers
isn't-
on the rooftops and end this thing? You know where they're going to be. Just end it.
How did
And
they?
you're at the cops putting that out. Hey, if you show up at this, the first person who does something violent, it's going to be a hail of bullets. So think about it before you go there, because you know there's going to be one bad apple in the crowd. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Look, by the way, shout out our boy Maddie. Laura just sent me a picture of the bottle she just finished. There you go. Look at that. Senior citizens only. Happy 65th birthday. That's a cutie. Doesn't
That's
open
a-
a new tab.
That's supposedly really good booze, isn't it?
Oh, Macallan? Yeah, you're not fucking around when you're drinking the Macallan, dude. Especially the 65-year-old shit. What? Yeah, they're obviously it's insane that they're the party. We showed the clip a couple weeks ago, Peter, of whatever you want to call it. Like I forget, like, of euphemisms, of whatever. They change words, they change meanings. It's like, oh, bodily autonomy. Yeah, we're just lopping off the head of the baby as it comes out. Gender reaffirming surgery. By the way, if you don't get how fucked up Iran is, this is great. Like, and I love what, like, it's not about Jews or whatever. I don't care. We're done. We did our part. It's such a fucked up country. Do you know, speaking of gender affirming surgeries, and I think I tipped off the answer, you know where the second most transgender affirming surgeries, if you would, you know what country they're done in, Pete?
Oh, I guess the U.S. is number one.
Of course.
Why am I?
Because we like to affirm those genders, Pedro. Where's number two?
I don't know why it wouldn't be England.
Nope. It's Iran. When I tell you why it's Iran, you're going to be like, oh, okay. Peter.
Iran. Like Texas Patrick P said, Iran.
Yeah, I love Texas, man. Yeah, do you know why? They want to tell people
why. I've answered Iran. Why?
Because, Peter, because they can't wrap their brain about being gay. They hate gays so much. If I go up to you and be like, look, I love cock. They're going to kill me. But if I go up to them and say, look, I'm a woman. I must be a woman because I love cock. Could you help me have the proper surgery? Sure. Because then whatever monster you are, we'll call it a woman. Yeah, and it's illegal to be. You can say faggot or gay toss. So they'd rather you have a surgery.
That makes sense.
And marry someone of the same gender.
I gotta say that might not be a bad idea for us as well. Just put it all out there. Just change the sex. That cleans things up.
Pete puts it all out there, don't you? Don't you, Pedro? Okay, by the way, and sorry, I forgot. I love fucking Tosca. By the way, I need a goddamn fucking whiskey. Got some jump rope, getting the jump roping going again. Very excited about that. I got to weigh myself, dude. I really have got to stop talking about it and start being about it and get a good juice cleanse going. You know?
I weighed in at 184 the other day. By the way, I just had the blood work done for the, go ahead, you want to throw something in there? Had the blood work done for the citrus bergamot.
Oh, yeah, so, you've been talking about that. How did that land?
As you are aware, on the statins, which kill you to death quick, my cholesterol went down to 199 from 309. So that was a precipitous drop.
No, but if I may give you some credit and interrupt you, didn't that also include you just, was that just statins? Because didn't you just say fuck and not eat cheese for 6 months?
No, that was just statins the last time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I decided.
Sugar! I love George Sugar.
I talked to my doctor. I said, can I try the citrus bergamot? It's supposed to work. So the 6 weeks are up of the test run, and my cholesterol only went up to 269, which to me is fine. To me, anything under 300 is good. I don't care what the numbers say.
Oh, Pete, no, it's to quote the power of subconscious mind, it's good and very good. By the way, Jigger doing a hot dog fucking qualifier soon. Not the one I did with you, right, Pete? Oh no, Gene, you certainly qualified. And you only put one in your mouth. What? That's huh?
Well, isn't he in the Nathan's event?
Yeah, that's our boy.
I know. That's what I was going to say. Are you going this year to the Nathan's event?
If I'm around July 4th, what? I don't even. If he's there, I could be talked into it.
No softball July 4th, Gene. July 4th weekend, no softball.
Well, of course there wouldn't be. What organs did the meds destroy, Pete? It's a trade-off. Tell him, Pete. I'm getting a whiskey glass.
So Hans, here's the deal. I don't know if it destroyed any organs, but I couldn't remember anything. It was almost terrifying. My kid would be like, yeah, we talked about that at dinner last night. I couldn't remember anything we said the next day. And my wife's like, yeah, you had a whole conversation about it. So I'm not even dealing with that anymore. I think the whole cholesterol thing is crazy, especially with more of the stuff I read. So if I'm at 270, I'm good with that. 309 scared me a little bit. I ain't going to lie. But now, like, what's the difference? I'm 57 years old. I feel great. And from what I understand, cholesterol, the body needs it to survive. So I'll take the citrus bergamot and go from there, but I'm not touching the statins again. I'm not doing that trade-off. And I have not had any negative feelings from the statins, from the citrus bergamot at all.
So wait, and I'm sorry, I lost it in all the interrupting. It's what I do. I apologize, Pete. So what is your citrus bergamot cholesterol? As I do a shot to my boy Blood Harvester, Shendon, my man.
It's all it is citrus bergamot. It's from Italy, Gene. You like that? It's a fruit, and it's supposed to help with cholesterol. And like I say, it only went, I'm still down 40 points.
I had a fruit help me with my cholesterol. It gave me AIDS. Come on, Modern Man Podcast.
So, and I'm down. I lost like almost 30. What did I lose? I was over 200, which is crazy. Holy crap.
No, wait, you mean pounds, right?
Yeah, I was over 200 pounds at one point. I was round. With 2 arms sticking out. So I'm down to 184. I was down to 179 and a half. I don't know what happened. At any rate, what was I going to say? No, the only drug, I drink, but the only drugs I did pot the one time in college, which, was fantastic. And I was not thrilled with it. And that was it. I'm not a drug guy. Maybe I should. Now that the pot's legal, people are recommending the THC drinks or the gummies or whatever. You know what I mean? But I just never got into it for whatever reason. Coke, I didn't get into. So
my big pharma. Oh, you go, Pete. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I was just gonna say Coke. I guess it was in high school or a freshman. Len Bias died after my freshman year of college, maybe after my sophomore year when I was 85, summer of 86 or summer of 87 when he died. And then, like 3 months later in August, Don Rogers died, and they claimed it was cocaine. And I'm like, I don't need that. I got enough things I worry about. My heart exploding to freaking get high one night.
Bias died in 86, Pete.
Yeah, right. I was painting with Eugene. I remember him coming back. He's like, "You're not going to believe this." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Lenny Bias died." I'm like, "Holy shit!" And
Lenny's dead.
Yeah, Lenny be dead. Do I believe that's the first time Lenny did coke? I probably don't now, but when I was then, absolutely I did. I'll admit my naivete. I absolutely believed it. He celebrated being the #1 pick, did a little coke, and that was it. Yeah. Don Rogers, though, 3 months later, he was supposed to get his bachelor party. He was a safety for the Browns.
I can't remember Don Rogers, Pete.
Nobody does. He was a safety, I believe, for the Cleveland Browns out of UCLA. And I think the reason I remember him, and I believe he died at his bachelor party. And the reason I remember him is because he was a safety out of UCLA. He was the guy there after Kenny Easley, who was one of my favorite Seahawks.
The day before his wedding, Pete.
Yeah.
Came 8 days after that of Len Bias, an NBA draft pick, who also died because he did too much coke.
And there it is. They didn't have to tell me not to do coke anymore. That was the summer of after my freshman year of college. So
they had to tell me.
So the pot, so the pot story, which is ridiculous.
By the way, before you tell the pot story, Pete, you want to see a really good tackle?
Yes, I do.
I know. Well, I think you've seen it, but it's worth watching.
Oh, I have seen it.
I think we've all seen this. God damn it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, let me ask you right there. What does he think he's doing? and it gets even better. And shout out EK. I love you, Peter. Peter, you and EK just got my vote with this video. I'll tell you that much. You certainly just scored my vote. But look at Pete. Look at this. I mean, watch this right here. What is he doing? He's like, watch this. Got him. What is this?
That is a form tackle.
Yeah. Oh, he fucking he put his head down. He put his head down.
He hit with the shoulder. He hit with the shoulder and wrapped up. That's
What's
like
that?
He hit with the shoulder, wrapped up, and took him to the ground.
Peruvian marching powder. Love this guy.
By the way,
are you kidding? That's a gun that flies out of his pocket?
I didn't see that.
Well, let's take a peek again. Sorry.
Maybe that's the Peruvian marching powder talking.
Is that a gun? Oh, please, because I need more if that's a gun. Hold on. Am I sharing the page? Oh, I am. I'm sorry, guys. I'm new at this. I'm going to take this down just so we can see if it is indeed a gun.
Oh, it is a gun. It's a gun.
It's not a gun flying. You know what this is? He's an idiot. Watch the hand. I think he's trying to get rid of the gun. I think he flings it away, right?
I don't know, but it's a gun. It looks like a gun.
We don't need the sound on it. Yeah. Oh, but let's keep an eye on his hand. I'll tell you what. I don't know. I don't understand where it comes from.
Why would we even be quite? To me, it clearly looks like the gun flies out of his pocket when he hits the ground. That's what it looks like to me. If it's a, if it's an AI video or somebody messed with the video, whatever. And maybe it's not a gun, but it clearly could be. It's shaped like a gun. It is shaped. Could be sunglasses. Could be anything. I'm sick of trying to figure out this shit. Like, yeah.
Yeah, still, I don't know. Absolute necessary to get slow-mo here. Let's see what it says. A protester just threw a can at a cop by a bystander, and I have concerns about his neck. Shut up. Ain't Antifa. It was a piece. You can't just. These are bots, right?
That's what I'm saying. Gene, I think they're all bots.
Oh, look at this. This is a satire account. Hold on, Pete. It can't be parodied because Antifa doesn't exist. Don't take anything I say seriously because I don't. Oh, okay. It was you can't just. Okay, I get it. It was a peaceful protest. I apologize. I'm getting old. You can't just tackle someone because they hit police with an empty can of Pringles. That's literally fashion.
Here's the thing.
Sorry, Pete. Go on, big brother.
Here's the thing. I don't think anybody in this chat's a bot. But on anything else, who knows?
Although sometimes you're like a robot, am I right, Pete? You're like a goddamn machine. I'm so out of practice. I'm so out of. I am like a goddamn machine. I'm like iRobot, but I call it iBlowbot. All right, I'm terrible. I'm so out of practice.
I gotta tell you, I hope Steve isn't watching this on vacation because you are failing miserably, and he would be very disappointed in this.
Yeah, it's knit a gun. I don't know if it's knit a gun. What is knit?
Not you retard. It's not a gun.
I know. Stop it.
Well, you were correct in siloed, so I don't know anymore.
Oh, and I called myself out immediately. Didn't I? Like, was I not embarrassed? I'm like, I'm correcting the perfect word because I think slice when I think EK Legend.
I understand.
EK Legend. You know, Pete, I'll drink. By the way, we never covered that. Right? My big pharma shield doctor told me I needed to start taking a thyroid drug. Me having a strong medical, start taking an iodine supplement. Yeah, because I'll tell you something when I hear thyroid. You know what I hear with thyroid? I have a friend who, her father was sick during the lockdown, Pete. Mm-hmm. By the way, shout out. How are the Pacers doing? Her husband's a huge Pacers fan.
Pacers are up 2-1, I believe.
Thank you. And so she's like, her father is sick. Oh, and I loved her father because Peter, it was like our house. Like she's like, I'm watching my dad, and her dad had a garden like mom did, right? So he's like, she's like, all right, I got to get vaccinated. You know, they're making me get vaccinated so I can fucking take him to all the stuff. She got vaccinated. Within 4 months, Peter, thyroid cancer runs in her family. Okay, runs in her family. Everyone in her family, like her grandmother, her mother, her aunt, they got it in their 60s and 70s. You know how old she was when she got it, Peter?
45.
It was 4 months after she got the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was saying all week, I'm like, they had a bad batch, not like you ever had, not the good batches you're putting out down there, but I said they had a bad batch down there, the stories you were telling me about the vax. Shout out, real way to do your own fucking research, my man. Fucking pure blood motherfucker. Two Mitts just stole my truck.
So just to add to your insanity over it, and I feel you. I don't know if you saw, but the offensive tackle for the Rams is out for a while because of what, Gene? He's a young man. Came in the league in 2022, Gene.
Right.
Blood clots.
I'm just going to Google Rams So he can't ram it? You know he wants to ram it.
He might try and ram it, but his body might explode.
These are results for Rams outfielder blood. Alaric Jackson, the Rams starting left tackle, is being treated for blood clots. He also dealt with blood clots in 2022, Pete. Did you say that?
Yes.
Peter, if I watch this, I wonder if I can share.
You just gotta let
I wonder if I can just share.
Because I know you follow this, so that was just informational for you. We don't have to, like, and it all, by the way, comes together because I'm watching the governors you were talking about. And I know you wanted to get to that, who are in front of Congress. Walz, Hochul, and God, who's the other?
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to talk about next, please, because I have clips. And I even, by the way, real fast, Bob Van Patrice, Iran has been trying to do a juice cleanse. A juice cleanse.
You get it, Gene?
Now let me lead into what you're about to say, because I reached out to you. We were actually talking just before we started. Thank God we weren't talking when we could have been talking when we started, because when we started, we didn't start because I'm not good at what I do. But I'm very good at hanging out with my big brother and bullshit. So my question is, whatever they were doing yesterday, I'm seeing these clips, and every clip, you can imagine one Dem looking dumber than the next with climaxing, and I didn't mean to bring up the other night, Pete, climaxing in fucking our girl. God, I love this Mace chick. I love South Carolina's just eviscerating Tim Walz. And I'm like, what is this? This is better than fucking, what was it? The big money night with the WWE. This is better than golf. They should have been selling tickets. I would have watched it with popcorn and whiskey. I mean, what was that, Peter?
I believe they called them in to discuss sanctuary cities in their states.
All right, I'll Google that.
And I believe they're all sanctuary states beyond sanctuary cities.
By the way, can I send this? I got to interrupt you for a sec. Can I send this story? Because every time someone dies now, I send it to my old boss. Can I send this story to this Alaric Jackson guy who got blood clots in 2022 and now he's got them again? And can I send them to the guy that fired me and said, yeah, you got to go? Piece of cunt cock-sucking shit.
Clearly, he believes it's a free country other than for the ideas that you're spreading. So I'm sure you can send it.
Got fired by all these fucking mooks. All right, what was I just doing? Talk, big brother. You're used to it. I'm sorry. Sanctuary City Dems, but go on, Pete.
No, that's all. I think that's why they were called in to discuss sanctuary cities, because I was watching that. And at the beginning, they all, gave their statements. And Walz is like, I never signed any bill saying we're a sanctuary city, dancing all around it. Like it's not real. And, you saw when they questioned Hochul, Lisa Stefanik from New York said to Hochul, she read the order that Governor Hochul of New York signed saying they aren't cooperating with ICE. The police shouldn't cooperate.
Oh, Pete, would you like to see a clip of that while you're talking?
Just saying. And Hochul's like, that's not what it means. The problem with these hearings is, she should have really just let Hochul talk to spew, because you've won. You've proven she's a lying idiot buffoon. You've proven it. So let her then just speak and further your point. Don't keep cutting her off, because I think that takes away from Stefanik's argument. That's my problem with this. So go ahead, you can play it.
Oh, okay. First of all, Jesus Christ, I got to find it. It's not hard to find. I have the clip of them burying fucking Walz. Oh, here it is. So wait, set up what we're about to see, Peter, if I found the right thing.
Which clip is it? Is it Stefanik talking to Hochul?
You know what? Why don't I show you, and then you can explain it, because you know what you're doing. Here we go. Nope, wrong thing, blah, blah.
I'd throw some banana juice on her face. The chat gets better and better. Again, it might be the Peruvian marching pattern speaking, but you
can always find sanctuary under a blanket, big brother. He's right. All right, here we go. Boom. I love fucking Dave Rubin. He's so good. Gay guy. Makes fun of gay people. Fucking love this dude. And talks like a straight man. Doesn't be like, hey, I'm gay. Ugh. Stop it. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Can you guys hear this? I was having trouble. I'm pausing it. Can you hear this, people?
I could not hear it.
What you know? Why am I, Peter? Talk to them while I reboot it. Thank you very much.
I'm assuming he's going to show the clip of Elise Stefanik reading from Governor Hochul's order to not cooperate with ICE, and her trying and say, no, that's not what it means. Again, trying to change what words mean. I don't even know. And you'll also see them name all these different illegals who murdered people in New York. And Hochul's like, I don't know who that is. And it's these just unbelievably hideous crimes.
But this is what we have, Pete. You're the man. Thank you. Watch.
In New York have actually led to the rapes of girls and destruction and all that. But more importantly than the substance of this, what is happening with Kathy Hochul's face? Let's analyze.
You know who Sakir Akan is. You should, as the governor of New York State.
Okay,
you know?
I'm going to tell you what this part is. I don't know if it's what you mean. This is what a piece of shit she is, Peter. Because this is after. This is when, like, after they said all that stuff, she literally threw the names of fucking people that were murdered in her state because it's a sanctuary city. And Pete, she literally does the 3 different ways. I don't know. And look at her. She's such a cunt. Listen to dead people. And she doesn't know any of them. And she does that Democrat response. Is this what you were talking about before I hit play? Sorry.
One of the things. Yes, go ahead. Play it.
It's galling. Watch this. I'll even go back and click so you can get the full brunt.
You get it included for.
Hey, look at that. Some patience.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't have time for ad blocker. I'll never give YouTube money. Suck my dick.
Happening with Kathy Hochul's face. Let's analyze.
You know who Sakir Akan is. You should, as the governor of New York State. Do you know?
Refresh my recollection.
He was an illegal migrant in New York. And do you know what crime he committed in addition to being here illegally?
No, I do not.
You do not. This was widely reported. He found a 15-year-old girl, threatened her with a metal pole, told her to get into the back seat of his car. He took her clothes off, and he violently raped her in Albany, New York.
Her face doesn't move. I'm sorry that I keep pausing, but I have to ask you, is this what politics are now? Like, okay, this is her. She's like, well, obviously you're trying to trick me. We're not trying to trick you. We're trying to fucking make you have compassion for the very job you're supposed to be passionate about. And since she's so pissed, she doesn't give a fuck about this fucking rape child. She's like, she's gonna gotcha me. And she got her. Am I wrong?
No, I think the deal is Hochul's not going to say anything, and just saying I don't recall just means it's not that I didn't know it. I just can't recall it right now. It's all, talking around what it is. So do I believe she doesn't recall this? No, I don't believe that for a second. I don't know why, and they're still playing by whatever book they're going by that tells them, well, if we act like we didn't know, people will believe it and be like, well, how could the governor know everything? You're welcome, Curtis John. Fantastic show. How could the governor know everything?
Such a good show. Such a good show. Go on, Pete.
So that's their MO. That's what they're going to do. But when then they go through what the crime was and everybody else knows who these people are and what they did, it just rings hollow. So,
no, Peter, I have to interrupt you there because you're 1,000% right. But when you say it, it's one thing. You just said it's like, and she doesn't know. Peter, no. Once you watch it, like, and she doesn't know. She doesn't know who this is. I even knew who the last one was. I was literally like listening in the car today, doing my with the street cleaning. I love when Keanu calls me at 12:30. Where are you? In the car, barefoot, usually smoking a cigar, listening to alt-right shit. She's like, all right, love you. Bring me a diet soda. Peter, you have to she doesn't flinch. She doesn't care because she's more upset that she got caught in the bullshit than fucking her people, right?
So I guess she believes that this is what she needs to do to win elections. That's all it's about for her. This is what she needs to do. She believes this is what she needs to do, how she needs to act, how she needs to answer to be the governor of New York again when it's time for an election. That's all. So play it through. You'll see it's ridiculous.
It's infuriating, but that's a perfect way to put it. She's like, she's not worried about these people. She's worried about looking good for re-election. She's worried about that shit. Right. All right.
And
I don't even know if she can run again. I don't think she can.
The real proof of that is when our girl Nancy Mace.
Hot blood harvester. You're right. Go, Pete.
Right. Is the real proof of that to me is when Nancy Mace just asked Tim Walz what a woman is. His answers are pathetic. I don't understand.
Oh, Peter, we're gonna get. Hey, big brother.
Right.
You're a goddamn pro. Pete, look, I know you're used to doing your podcast alone, but you gotta play. I love him so much. You gotta play off me a little bit. You gotta play off me a little bit. You're embarrassing me in front of Mr. White. They get unhinged when this is perfect. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pete. This is it perfectly, right? They get unhinged when they know they do wrong. It eats them up. They can't take it. That's how you know they're guilty as hell. Yeah. That is the perfect description. I'm afraid I got to do another shot to Mr. White. Mr. White had to declare me. I don't know if he got that money back. If he didn't, I hope he knows to declare me as a dependent on his taxes next year. I love Mr. White.
I can't help it that you neatly segued into a point because you said what you said, and there's no better way of putting on display. And I think she's had a lot of work done. Her face looks plastic. Is the Tim Walz answers like? The only people in this country to me who are going to answer the question, what is a woman or what is a man, with I don't know or I don't understand the question, are people you don't want to deal with. They're out there. They're trying to prove a point. What that point is, I don't even know. It's their that liberal what do they call it again when you want to feel good about yourself? I've lost the word in all this.
The liberal bias, the liberal bent.
They're liberal virtue signaling. Oh, what do you mean? What do you ask what a woman is?
Peter, is it gaslighting or is it just virtue signaling?
Yeah, virtue signaling. I don't know what a woman is. I don't even understand that question. How can you even ask that question?
But how can they? And we'll get to that clip. But he said it like I looked at Keanu. I'm like when he doesn't just say that. What does he say, Pete? What do you want me to say? Well, you lose. You lose.
Right. That's
you said that argument. What do you want me to say? All right, so you can't think for yourself, or you don't have an answer.
Right. And the point is, like, you could ask anybody, and she should have asked the other senators, the other Republican representatives there.
By the way, if I can interrupt you, thank God you got it taken care of, Mr. White. Do not worry about it. It's Mr. White. You can't, one, get your money back. Two, you can't put a price on the fun we had that week with it. Let us know when you get your money back, and don't just show up for bonus loads. I think that's all we fucking need. That and my in hot water license plate. But oh my God, I love it because we're like I can't enjoy the money.
Where is Mr. White?
Mr. White is I'll say this. He's a Patriots fan. He's in that area.
Okay. All right.
Not only is he a Patriots fan, I will give him props. He wanted I was the one going like, he got 6 rings, put up with belt. No, it's not enough anymore. He said it much more eloquently, like it's not enough anymore. Fucking Belichick has to go, and he was right. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, all I'm saying is he's not from New Jersey. He's not in New Jersey.
I'm being told to check my text messages.
I feel like New Jersey is New York City, I guess, too, is nuts. But North Jersey is a mess. It's night and day. When you get down exit 8 or exit 7. It's
By the way, I almost don't want to share this. Shout out to our boy fucking Matty. He sent me a picture of a cigar. Why don't we, God, why are we not sending, look at this. That's a Father's Day cigar. I got to get that for loads. Look at that.
I can't see so good. It's too dark.
It says Happy Father's Day.
Oh.
Now,
North Jersey is such a.
We also have one for our 3 black fans where the father is just deleted out. Just says Happy Day. Nothing?
Is that you had to do it? You couldn't.
By the way, I was also told to check a text from Joey Dago, who sent this picture. Look at that. That's Joey Dago. Joey Dago driving back from Lord knows where. Oh, there you go. Look at this handsome. I'm doxing Joe. Look at that handsome son of a bitch. Wow. Oh, are you getting a ticket? I just realized that. Are you getting a ticket? Joey, are you getting a ticket? By the way, he's on the phone with his what? I'm just doxing. All right, that's got to go. I love him. I love our. And speaking of which, and then we'll get back to this dizzy bitch. You were talking about you know, the locals and stuff. I'm doing this every Saturday now. Speaking of cigars, Maddie, like I do a Saturday morning cigar stream, or like I want to do once a week where it's just me on the locals, because I don't want to make people get locals, but these gifted memberships mean so much to me. You know what I mean? So you can watch it live, and people text me while I'm doing it, and it's better than the chat because everyone has my number. You know what I mean? And I just answer the things as we go. But again, we have to go back because you have, and then we'll get to Tim Walz. But if you don't get everything our boys said, Mr. White said it, fucking John and Claire said it, they're just mad that they lost. And look at her face; it doesn't budge. And listen to the next one they bring together.
Do you know who Sebastian Zapita Khalil is?
I'm sure you'll tell me there's many cases, whether they're
These are high-profile cases, New York.
I'm sure you'll tell me. Like, do you understand, Peter? Is that a sore loser? I'm sure you'll tell me. Sure,
yes, right.
You should say, "I'm sorry, I don't." You should, if you have a soul, right? And she should. She's white. I could see this guy not having one. This sand figure. I could see that. But if you have a soul, you should be like, "Oh my God, is that another victim?" But you can't say that because that's bad politics. Am I right, Pete?
No, because she does do that at one point. She's like, "What happened to them is hideous." Blah 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 blah. But nobody, you have to know these things. Yeah.
God, I can't believe we almost lost John and Claire. We struggled that week. I'm not going to lie to you.
I love he's had many such cases. You have many such cases like this in New York?
Yeah, Peter, thank you. I missed that. She's like, well, watch. Okay, let's go back.
In New York. And do you know what crime he committed in addition to being
I went too far back. I'm sorry, but why not?
You do not. This was widely reported. He found a 15-year-old girl, threatened her with a metal pole, told her to get into the back seat.
I apologize. I didn't realize I went this far back. And look, raped her in Albany doesn't.
Do you know who Sebastian Zapita Khalil is?
I'm sure you'll tell me there's many cases, whether they're
These are high-profile cases. New Yorkers know about them, and you don't. So let's talk about Sebastian Zapita Khalil. Do you know who that is?
I don't have the specific details at my disposal, no.
Well, this is an illegal migrant in New York because of your sanctuary state.
I know this one,
Do you know what crime he committed?
I'm not familiar at this moment.
I bet you're going to be familiar when I remind you.
Do you know which is, Pete, like...
Yes, he's moving on
I'm sorry.
I don't have the specific details at my disposal, no.
Well, this is an illegal migrant.
I muted it instead of pausing. I'm like, I bet you could guess. You don't know the name. Do you remember when they...
New York, because of your sanctuary state policies. Do you know what crime he committed?
I'm not familiar at this moment.
I bet you're going to be familiar when I remind you. He found a sleeping woman on the subway, lit her on fire, and burned her alive. This is in Hochul's, New York.
How do you not know that?
As I'm sure you are aware, and I'll remind you that ICE issued a...
Yeah, Peter, you got to know that one. You got to know the guy that set a woman on fire.
Right.
I'll be honest. I knew that one. I can't remember the guy that fucked a corpse. Can't remember his name. I don't even know if they released it, but he was another illegal immigrant. Fucked a corpse. You know that one, right, Pete?
Yes. She's not getting the banana juice.
Pete, I mean, why would I expect you to know it if Kathy Hochul does it? You don't live here. You're not running. Here we go.
In order to detain this violent criminal, but that was rejected by New York officials due to sanctuary state.
I know it's easy to just make fun of how these people look, but
Peter. By the way, I'm going to say it again. I'm over the liberal hive mind. I like it, but it's so left. It's like, I love Dave Rubin. He's great. By the way, and he's gay. Pete, do you listen to him?
When there's so much out there. I listen to him
Peter, I know you want to see what's out there, but you know, he reminds me of you, not the gay thing. I've gotten past that, but he talks about, he's like, he plays basketball with his boys all the time. Pete, I think you'd love him.
No,
he's great.
I do listen.
And again, he's gay, and he makes fun of, like some gay guy said something, he's like, what, you have to look at a woman? He makes fun of gay people, and he's gay. I love him.
I have listened to him. I absolutely listen to him on occasion. I do try. There's just a lot out there, so there's a lot to pick from. So I do listen to him. I listen to X22. I listen to, I've
you
tried.
Still listen to X22?
100%. Who else I listen to? I try to listen to Savage. I listen to all of them. Oh my God, why can't I? The one who's doing the thing on Macron. I tried listening to all of that, and that gets in deep. There's just so much now. It's like drinking out of a fire hose because that's how you know everybody is on board because there's so much information. Because there's so many people and so much information coming out there that we believe that before was brushed aside. You're a nut. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're this. You're that. And now it's like, no, this is what most people are starting to believe. This is real. You can't keep telling me what I'm seeing isn't real. You can't keep telling me that and expect me to keep believing it. It's so.
You ever heard of the Ruthless podcast?
I have, but I haven't seen it.
Mr. White, send me the link to that next time. And I fucking. He sent me for a week, and I'm sorry I didn't forward them more. He was sending me those good morning, you badass motherfucker nut. He was sending me
all of those. They're outstanding.
I mean, did I not send them? Yes. I think, and there's so many times that I just immediately forward stuff from Mr. White to you, Peter, and vice versa. That I think I'm like, oh, I meant to send that to Pete, or I meant to send that to you, but like, oh. He's great. He's great.
Now, if Push-Up is really friends with Mark Levin, that is outstanding. I went to see Mark Levin in Pittman, New Jersey, right before COVID hit.
Is he Life, Liberty, and Levin, Mark Levin?
Yes. I went to see him. I read a bunch of his books. I went to see him in Pittman when he was there with Zioli from WPHT in Philly. And it was right before we shut down for COVID. And it was after Trump had been to Wildwood, I guess the first time. And like, it was so strange because everybody in there was all about Trump. So yeah, I've read a lot of Levin's books. I watch his show when I can. He's generally spot on. So if Push-Up is friends with him, good for him. Yeah, I like Levin. I like
Life, Liberty, and Levin.
Yes, his one book, I think it was Utopia, was difficult. It was a tough read, but the rest, yeah. Yeah, used to know Bannon better. I listen to some of the War Room when I can. I like Bannon too. I think people would say Bannon is a little like, if you want to say further out there than Levin. But yeah, he is going that Levin is all about Israel. But and again, that's why I just don't know what to think anymore about what's going on over there. I read Ameritopia. I read it.
I never heard of it. Who wrote Ameritopia? Levin?
Levin wrote that. But
I read Peter. I'll be happy. You'll be happy to know I read Utopia. Oh no, I didn't. I read I read The Republic. That's not Utopia.
Well, here's the thing. And even if the fact that Levin is all about Israel doesn't mean I can disagree with him on that or not be lockstep with him on that. But that doesn't mean the other things he's written I can't agree with and aren't legitimate to me. And some of the stuff he just, like on his show, some of the stuff he will just break it down by the Constitution. He might be a warmonger. I don't know that. You know what I mean? I'm not willing to say that yet. I feel like he is all about Israel. He is Jewish. So I don't know. But you can't throw it all out because I can't let all the stuff I've read and how he is very much according to the Constitution. That's why I disagree with on some of the Israel stuff. But some of the other stuff he's written is straight up good stuff. It's all constitutional. It's all backed. He, cites everything. So like Michael Savage. I love him. I've read most of his books. And there's some stuff I don't think he's necessarily right on. X-22. Some stuff I don't necessarily see. The thing I like about X-22 is he is putting it all to the Fed. Everything.
But who is X-22, Peter? By the way, really quickly, just so we don't fall behind. Texas Patrick B. Hey, Peter, I love you, and I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. No, I won't do that under the pink blanket. There you go. Bob Van Patrice to Kathy Hochul. Ever heard of black guys? Yeah. She's, by the way, Kathy Hochul's one's like, there are black kids who don't know what a laptop is. Yes, they do. It's what they're told to steal out of your fucking car, you dopey twat. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Kilgore, that's what I'm saying. On that aspect, I don't want to support with anybody. So any of these people I listen to, if they're about the U.S. getting involved in a war with any of them, I don't agree with it. I mean, because at this point, I don't believe anybody is a flat-out threat to the United States. I don't think, and by that I mean anybody who's going to be coming over here and invading our country. That's a flat out threat. I think any other attacks we can fight off. So,
well, let me address this because Mr. White says Levin takes himself too seriously, a bit wound up. He's okay. I agree. He's an Israel ball washer. Are you kidding? And Pusham says it's common sense that nuclear Iran is bad. Yeah, but we don't need to go to war to prevent a nuclear Iran. We did what we just needed to do to prevent that. We also needed to prevent fucking Joe Biden being a puddinhead that fucking let people run the auto pen and give them fucking money and give bombs to the Ukraine to lob at Russia. Okay, so again, we don't need to go into war with
Right, but I am okay if Levin is saying Israel should go to war with Iran. I'm 100% okay with that. Let Israel do it. They should. Iran's right next to them, and they're going to have nuclear weapons to be able to bomb them. They should go to war with Iran. We shouldn't. Their nuclear missiles can't reach us, as far as I know. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you said auto. It's auto-peen, you moron.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's auto-peen. Thank you. By the way, shout out to Concrete Petey who says it's always a mistake throwing out the Jewish with the boxcar. And by the way, as always, give him props. Today we went with this gem. He's a busy man. I can't ask him for a new thumbnail every day, but look at that. Maximus Lodius, the helmet of Rome, the Tower of Dabble. Oh, are you kidding me? That's an absolute beaut. Am I right? Absolute beaut.
It is a beaut, and I saw it and was every week I'm in disbelief at what I'm seeing.
It's really good stuff. All right, let's get back to this because we were talking about it. Now, this is what we talked about earlier. If you'll excuse me. This is what was going on. 3 blue state governors were on defense for hours on Thursday, yesterday, during a marathon House Oversight Committee hearing where Republicans accused them of reckless immigration policy in their state. Tim Walz, Kathy Hochul, and who's J.B. Pritzker? Should I know him? I'm sure I could find clips. He didn't put any in here.
He's the heart attack waiting to happen governor of Illinois.
Go on. I'm going to Google it while you talk.
He's governor of Illinois. He's a breakneck liberal, disgraceful human being, in my opinion. I believe he's one of the ones.
Lord.
I believe he's one of the ones.
This guy?
Yes. Either he or his family took vacations to Florida during the pandemic. He's one of those pieces of garbage.
Good. Oh, here's the only picture you need to see. The only picture you need to see this piece of shit is right here. Ugh. Look at him. Fuck him.
Kilgore, I believe, and I could be wrong, Kilgore, but I'm with you on Israel. I don't know that Israel can't do anything without our support. I sort of believe that over the last 20 years, they've been working with American companies for their munitions and military muscle. I don't necessarily know that American companies means the U.S. government, but again, the CIA is in everything, so it's hard to separate the two. So I guess I'm talking like a Democrat now. It's hard to separate the two, but as long as the U.S. isn't blatantly out there fighting, I'm not okay, because I don't think the CIA should be involved. You know, as much as we cannot be involved is what I want it to be.
Right.
You know what I mean, as much as we can be away from it and stay away from it, and I still think there's just too much deep state CIA we can't stop. And if that goes on, it goes on. But everything we can stop, we should stop.
Can't stop, won't stop, Loads.
Yeah. The U.S. does give Israel money. And that's one of the problems with the bill. They didn't get rid of all the USAID stuff. We shouldn't be giving any of them money. I don't know how.
By the way, a week later, it looks like Trump and fucking our boy Elon made up, so to speak. Right?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, so let's go with this. Am I on? We are on. Boom. Because Tim Walz is the biggest, and I want to find the Pritzker. I guess Pritzker, the thing is, maybe Pritzker's not as bad. By the way, I'm so dumb. I'm like, who's Pritzker? He's right here. He's in the picture. I'm so dumb, Peter. Fucking Waltz ate a dick. Watch.
He's Frank Rhodes'
he ate a giant dick for him, Peter. You know what I mean?
He's Frank Rhodes' governor.
Oh, fucking wonderful. Hold on.
Yes, I agree with that. That's well said.
What?
It's their war fine. I don't want us to be their backstop. 100%. I agree with you 100% with that. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
If they overrun, it's their problem.
By the way, remember, Walz's kid is retarded. He cried like a bitch.
Yes.
Like a bitch. All right, hold on. Let's get to this. Unmute.
This or something like that.
Are you calling for ICE agents to be brought to a tribunal under the threat of death by comparing them to the Gestapo?
Everyone is afforded due process.
What don't you understand about yes or no? Like, what can't you comprehend about yes or no questions?
And I'm going to stop it there. I don't care what anyone says. It's our stream. Peter, this is how little politicians, especially the left, I'm sorry, care. He thinks, he's like, oh, this is an easy one. I just say everyone's afforded due process. Watch.
Death by comparing them to the Gestapo.
Everyone is afforded due process.
That's his answer. And she, thank God, she's like, what? You're stupid.
What was the question?
What?
What was the question?
He made a reference to ICE as the Gestapo. Watch.
Put the smackdown on Tim Walz. Tim Walz, who they brought in to be the vice president because he's a man and he know how to code switch, talk to man, command talk like this or something like that.
Are you calling for ICE agents to be brought to a tribunal under the threat of death by comparing them to the Gestapo?
Everyone is afforded due process.
What don't you understand about yes or no? Like, what can't you comprehend about yes or no questions? Do you still want to abolish ICE? Do you still want to abolish ICE? Yes or no?
That I wanted to abolish ICE.
Didn't you march in a rally calling for ICE's abolishment?
Not that I can recall, Congressman.
Well, according to why.
Peter, how is you talk? How is that a good answer? How is a good answer from a Republican? I said you talk and then yelled, saying not that I can recall. How is that a good answer? You go, Pete. I'm sorry.
Right. What I'm saying, there's no way you can't remember if you marched in something like that. No way. He could say, I did not march in it, or I did. But you remember if you marched to get rid of ICE. That is ridiculous. So go ahead. I'm very curious.
And I don't know if it's in this clip, but did you see the clip? Or do you support the wall? It's like you went on a talk show and said, if you're building a 25-foot wall, I'm going to go into business selling 30-foot ladders. And they think it's funny in their piece. All right, you're right, Peter. I'm sorry. Back to you. I know you're used to your. I know you're used to your podcast, Pete. I'm kidding.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, play it. No, that is insane. Like Hochul, she has some level of cover. Oh, I don't believe it, Gene. But the loonies out there for Hochul could at least say she's the governor. She's busy. She sees a lot of cases. How could she remember specific cases? I think it's a lie, but it's believable. This is not believable. No. It's not believable that you don't recall being in a march.
Yeah, but he says it because they're so used to getting away with it. Here we go.
Spread media reports, you did.
And the media is always correct.
How do you rate Kamala Harris's job as border czar? I want a number.
This is amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. This is what I love about her. She the way he just well, I'll just give it another stupid answer. Like, are you nuts? Watch this.
Between 1 and 10, how was she as border czar?
I wouldn't have a way to measure that. I was not in the administration.
Weren't you her running mate for vice president?
As in the campaign.
And you can't rate her role as border czar on a scale of 1 to 10. Was she great at 10 or was she a 1? Terrible.
I think her proposal that she put forward to make sure we had the bipartisan immigration.
It wasn't bipartisan. Did you ever personally speak with Kamala about Joe Biden's cognitive collapse?
Watch this.
Not that I can recall, Congressman.
Not as her running mate for vice president. You never once talked to her about the president and why she was nominated instead of him.
That would be the first thing you talk about. Am I right, Peter? You literally go in and be like, look, how much have you been doing? And don't get me wrong. He can't say that because he didn't ask that because he knew she did nothing. He knew that dumb cunt did nothing, right? 100%. So he's like, but he thinks he's getting away with this. That's the first thing. If everything you've said was true, and we know it's not, but if everything the lying Democrat fucking cocksucking cunt fuck faggot said was true, the first thing you'd say in a normal world is like, all right, so what were you doing while Biden was getting a little wonky? It's between me and you. Am I wrong, Peter?
No, when EK and I get together to set up our campaign, the first thing we want to know is there anything out there that they could use against you? Think deep and hard, and I will do the same. So for him to say that is not.
EK is you're gonna have a lot of fucking cleanup with EK because he does like the nice tight slice. I don't think he's in it right now, but oh my god! So yeah, it's like look there how he is. I love him. I love. Oh, there he is. I'm telling him like he's putting big.
Right.
Oh God, hold on.
What he is saying is much less believable. There's no plausible denial there.
But Peter, he's not a hugger at the Special Olympics. He's not a He's not a fake. He doesn't work in a daycare. He's running. He ran the state of Minnesota into the ground. But this is a guy in government, and you said it. He's like, well, this should work. What?
Just in case the folks on here, because I don't remember if we discussed this. You know what my big issue is with Walz, right? Besides what a terrible governor he is and everything else, the garbage with him going to China and all the BS around him. My issue with him is he's virtually my age. He was a history teacher. If I had been in the same school as him, we'd have sat in the teacher's room and I'd had to listen to his garbage and know he was going in the classroom next to me and putting that garbage in kids' heads. And for that reason, I cannot abide by him because of what he is, and I know what he's done because I've been around people like him. That is one of the biggest issues I have with him. And what he's saying here just codifies it all. It's ridiculous. There's nothing believable about him. I don't know how he got to be governor. I gotta believe the election was rigged. It's just there's too much. There's too much there that he's so bad. So you say he's not a hugger at the Special Olympics. He's as close as you're going to get of a governor who could be a hugger at the Special Olympics.
And she doesn't let up. Watch. I love it.
Yeah.
No, not that I can recall.
What kind of operation were you guys running over there?
I was more concerned with Donald Trump's cognitive.
Thank God
Did you see what he just tried to sneak in? This is the one problem I have with this. I'm amazed she didn't say. I'm amazed she didn't say. What the fuck did you just say? He literally. If you don't get like this, doesn't fucking show what a piece of shit he is. Like she needed to, and she doesn't need my help. But Peter, he tried that move. Pete. What happened?
Ridiculous. Nothing. That's insane. Anytime they mention
what? Go. I'm sorry.
Anytime they mention Trump and cognitive problems, Gene, for people like us, for 70% of the country, they hear that and they either lose their mind and want to just throttle the guy, or they're like, this guy, they just move on. They don't even register it anymore because it's nonsense. The only people that registers with are the 30% of the country who are still so addled they can't function. They can't comprehend. And I just want to say real quick as an aside, because I'm sort of seeing what's going on. I know that our government supported Israel, but I also sort of know, I'll just leave it at that yes, the Israelis worked with American companies to build these radar systems and such. That's all I'll say. So I don't know that our U.S. government was involved. I just know they're involved with an American company. I do know that, and help them do it. But my understanding is they work with these companies and then they got the information and built the stuff. That's my understanding. I'm sorry, Gene. Go ahead.
Oh, please. You're doing wonderful. Let's watch her finish him off here. Not like you do.
Not that I can recall, Congressman.
Not as her running mate for vice president. You never once talked to her about the president and why she was nominated instead of him.
No, not that I can recall.
What kind of operation were you guys running over there?
I was more concerned with Donald Trump's cognitive.
Thank God he's president and J.D. Vance is vice president and not you. Have you ever served in a combat zone, Governor?
I have not, Congresswoman.
Okay.
I mean, that's just great by Mace. We're going to show you more in a second. But like, he's just nothing. Like, these people are just nothing. By the way, a lot of people thought that the pin on his lapel there, that his pin was the Somali flag.
That's why I
it
loved
actually
it.
Isn't the Somali flag. It's the Minnesota flag, which has just been altered to actually look more like the Somali flag. Ilhan Omar is also running her little Somaliland. over in Minnesota. So they've got some big problems over there. But his just inability to answer a question. Yes, he was for abolishing ICE and he marched in a parade. Everybody saw it. I'm pretty sure we showed you the video of it. No, and he never, he has no recollection of ever mentioning anything about Joe Biden's cognitive ability with Kamala Harris. And they never discussed the border either. He thought he can't even judge whether he thought any of her policies were good. She wanted a bipartisan bill, which we did not need, you dingbat, because we don't have it now and Donald Trump closed the border. Here's more of the smackdown.
Watch this.
Yeah, if you pause in a
Are
second.
you still friends with school?
I was just everything he said is spot on. Like, but again, you are 100% correct. It is not believable that the first two things you wouldn't have talked to her about is all of a sudden Biden's not running and you are. How did that come to be? I need to know this if I'm going to run with you. That's got to be number one. And again, you were the border czar. We're going to have to face all questions about this. What did you do or not do, or were you limited? Just so I know. I'm not necessarily going to use it in debate or say it. I just need to know so I know what my parameters are when I'm speaking. That's what I mean about this guy. He is so dishonest, intellectually dishonest, and that proves it even further. That's not even a little bit believable. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Gene.
Oh, don't be, big brother. I love it. Here we go.
Shooters.
I have never been a friend with a school shooter.
Didn't you say you were?
I mean, I even knew what she was doing there. Like,
right.
If he'd said, okay, come on. But, like, he's still used to lying. Like, his immediate thing should have been, like, I misspoke, which he will say in a minute. I'm not trying to, but do you understand? Like, the obvious answer, if you talk like a normal person and you're honest, you're like, I misspoke. You know what I mean? But he's programmed to give a lie first. He's programmed to be like, no. He's programmed to, like, watch. Here we go. Are you friends with school
shooters? Are you
shooters?
still friends with school shooters?
I have never been a friend with a school shooter.
Didn't you say you were friends with school shooters on the debate stage?
Oh, Congresswoman.
Why didn't he say that the first time, Pete?
Right. You're right.
Okay, let's keep going.
Maybe
what?
Maybe he wanted to be like, look, you should know that I've said I misspoke, and try to put her on the defensive, but
he didn't say it right. You would say, like,
right.
I've never been friends with a school shooter. And then when she said, well, you'd be like, you know I misspoke. Okay?
Right.
Like, Peter, and thank you for saying that. You proved both of our points. It's one thing to say, I've never been friends with a school shooter, and you roll your eyes because you know where she's going. But he's not there.
Right.
He's like,
By
I've
the
never
way,
been friends with school shooters.
Yeah, go ahead. Play.
Go ahead.
Bullying is, my mom was a teacher. I'm a high school dropout. We can talk about that later. Is bullying okay?
Is bullying okay as a teacher?
Is bullying okay? Yes or no? Is it okay to bully somebody?
I think
yes
there's
or no?
a time to push back at a bully. So yes, I do think there's a time.
So you think it's okay to bully others?
I think it's okay to bully the bully at times.
Well, you're showing that the Democrat Party is a party of violence. Were you at Tiananmen Square?
What is by the way, two things, Pete. I'm gonna say something that we know, and then ask you a question that I probably should know. Well, you know that I don't. One, this is how dumb he is, because he's like so focused on Donald Trump's a bully, which he isn't. You know, he trolls it. So he ends up saying sometimes you got to bully a bully. So, but he says that stupid statement where he's pro-bully, for lack of a better word, just to try and do this Donald Trump shit, which doesn't work. And what they're about to, was he in Tiananmen Square? Did he allege that happened?
There was something with him in Tiananmen Square. I can't recall offhand. I was doing my student teaching when Tiananmen Square happened, and I was teaching about China. So, yeah, there was something regarding Tiananmen Square with him. And again, I'm going to blame it on the statins. Yes. Let it play, and yes.
Tiananmen Square massacre was 1989, so let's see what he says.
Yeah.
Although I remember when he said,
I don't know if he was there, or he has referenced it, or he went back to Tiananmen Square as an educator with these kids, but there's something with Tiananmen Square in him, so go ahead.
Where did you send the link, Blood Harvester? All right, here we go.
Have I been to Tiananmen Square? I have.
Were you at Tiananmen Square?
I have been at Tiananmen Square.
When were you there?
Oh, as I recall, January of 1990.
Okay. What is a woman?
All right, you can pause it.
What is
that's what it was with Tiananmen Square. he made it sound like he was there in '89 when the tanks were rolling and the kid put his hand up, and he wasn't. He was there a year later in '90 after all of it. So he made it sound like, oh, he was there when everything was going on, and he wasn't. I'll be right back.
Where are you going? Tim Walz makes misleading. While he's doing that, I will read this because he's right. Hold on while Loads go. Where are you going, Loads? Hey, you're good. Don't worry. Here we go. Ba-boom. 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 Tim Walz mistakenly claims to have been in Hong Kong during period times. Are you nuts? Come on. Later, AP. Multiple news reports indicate Democratic VP nominee misleadingly claimed he was in Hong Kong during the turbulence surrounding the 19. Oh my God! Tuesday night's VP debate. Walz was asked about misleading people, and the ultimate when press said he misspoke. God, that's twice that piece of shit misspoke. But Walz said that he can get caught up in rhetoric, and that quote, "I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect." Oh my God! Come on with this. Are you kidding me? I've tried to, and I'm a knucklehead at times. He then added the former VP, former President Trump should have come on one of his trips to China. If he had done so, then the Republican nominee would know better than to compliment Chinese President Xi Jinping for the handling of the 2020 pandemic. Oh, really? Because would you like to see how Tim Walz handled the pandemic, Peter? Would you like to see how Tim Walz handled the pandemic? And for that, we thank Blood Harvester like I fucking planned it. Here we go. This is how Tim Walz handled the pandemic, Pete.
Gee, I don't even want to. I hate even looking at this stuff. This kills me. I hate it.
Tim Walz used the National Guard to enforce his COVID lockdown. These people don't actually care about military. They just hate Trump. Look at this. This is him during COVID, Peter.
Yeah. Yeah. And since you brought it up and Blood Harvester sent this.
This is COVID, Peter. This is Minnesota. Look at this.
I'm gonna give you some
Get in.
And they're so stupid that they think this is the guy you parade out for vice president when all these receipts, he fucking gave up a police. I got to find the clip where they're like, you let a police precinct in Minnesota burn. A guy yelled at him about that. Anyway, go, Pete. I'm sorry.
You okay?
Okay. One, the stuff in the chat about me going to the toilet is fantastic. Two, this garbage. I was watching something about what's going on in California, and they're like, people are ratting on their neighbors that they're illegal and all this. And I'm like, you people were the ones getting people to turn in their neighbor if they were outside without a mask on. And now it's a problem because these people are actually doing something illegal and you want them arrested as opposed to somebody who wasn't wearing a mask. It's Gene, I can't. I hate to say I can't because I sound like the intellectual dishonesty. I'm not going to use the H word because that's garbage. Anybody can use that. It's being intellectually dishonest. It's knowing something and just lying about it because it doesn't fit how you want it to be. Reality is reality. Truth is truth. It's in front of your face. It's self-evident. And what bothers the 30% of the population is that they want their own reality. And when other people say, but that's not what's real, they're like, I don't care. It should be. I want it to be that way. And that's the way I'm going to have it be. And you're going to go along with it. And when you say, no, stupid, I'm not, they lose their mind and have nothing. I mean, the transgender thing is flat out one of the most obvious. The COVID is another with what they forced on people and they don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? And everything that comes out now, oh, we should just forget. They didn't know. And see, here's why Tim Walz would bother me. If we're sitting in a teacher's room during COVID, and I'm like, Tim, this is blatantly unconstitutional to force people to do this stuff. And he would come up with some garbage, and I'd listen to him and be like, just because you said it doesn't mean it. I can read the Constitution black and white. Can't force people to do this shit. I don't care what you say or how you want it to be. That's an issue that they just want it to be how they want it to be. And again, what you see, truth is self-evident. It is. What is. You can try and manipulate things however you want, but you're in it. Like it is. Like I knock this can off the table, it falls down. It doesn't fall up. You know what I mean?
I feel you, dog. Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? That's the frustrating part. By the way, I'd love to hear what push-ups. There's a lot. He seems like he's invested it, not invest. He knows things. I don't know who push-ups is, but he knows some things.
I'm pixelated because for some reason, even though I even unhooked Keanu's fucking internet, I have shitty internet right now. Connection is unstable, and I'm locked in on the fucking landline. You know, I'm not using the Wi-Fi. Just happens sometimes. I don't give a shit.
Maybe they're effing around with New York right now. You don't know.
Yeah. Please. You
don't know what's going on.
By the way, do we want to address at all the fucking whatchamacallit, Alex Padilla bullshit, Peter?
Since you know what, I was going to mention that because somebody said about what's his name's pin, and it was the whatever flag. It's about Walz's pin and the flag.
But wait, whose?
Somebody said something about Tim Walz and his flag pin, and it's the new flag of Minnesota. It doesn't matter. At any rate, this Padilla
I think Kevin is streaming us, so I'm going to say nigger really loud. Hey, Kevin.
Are you kidding me?
How's that wife of... Hold on, Pete. Hey, Kevin, how's that ape wife of yours? Hold on.
Are you kidding me? Are you telling me I am now being streamed by Kevin Brennan? Is that what you're telling me?
Wait, Keanu, Kevin wants you to do the show.
I know. I'm waiting for you to be done.
You didn't tell me you were waiting for me to be done.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to bother you.
All right, well, no one told me. Yeah, is Kevin still watching? Kevin, hold on, I got to see. Hold on, let me see if he.
If Jaquan G he gets what I'm saying. If I'm being streamed on Kevin Brennan, are you kidding me? You're saying I made it to this point in life? People are seeing me all over the place because of you maniac. Again, the pin thing, because you went back to the Padilla. Apparently, I guess Congress people have some sort of security pin they can wear. And Padilla didn't have it on when he busted into Noam's press conference. So the people taking him to the ground did the right thing. Hold on,
Peter, can I interrupt for 1 sec? Baby, are you ready to stream? Well, I mean, you should set up, and then you'll be ready to go as soon as I'm done, so I can coast off screen here. But by the way, hold on, Pete, you there? I think Kevin played it when I dropped the N-bomb. Let's see. You ready?
Why would? At any rate, this Padilla
I think Kevin is streaming us, so I'm going to say nigger really loud. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Are you kidding me?
Did he laugh?
Wow! In 1 week, I got the
Kiki. That's how you raised him. Oh my God, Geno, end your fucking show.
I got to tell you, I love Kevin. I'm not mad at him anymore. It's incredibly. Oh, it's so good. He's like, and he doesn't even. He's like, yeah, okay. He knows it's on him, Pete. Kevin, give us a. Keanu's setting up. As soon as she's ready, I'll end it. That is so. Thank you.
All I was gonna say is the Padilla. I guess they have some sort of pin they wear that shows their Congress people.
And he wasn't wearing it, right?
He wasn't wearing it. And again, I sent you the clip of Stephen A. Smith. Even the blind shall see. Stephen A. Smith said, "Wait a minute, you're a state senator. You couldn't wait for her to finish, walk in and present yourself. You had to burst in. Please,
theater,
stop.
theater.
Please. Yeah, it's all theater. Please." And Christy knows really good. I don't know how my people handled it. I'm happy they handled it that way. You don't know who he is. You got to be kidding me.
No,
well, I got 30. There was that
it's
30
all
seconds.
Fucking theater, people.
30 seconds on Kevin Brennan's show. How many people saw that? Look what you've done. Look at what you have done.
Oh, Peter, please. Peter, I'm trying to survive. Like, there's not much left for me to do. I've done, like, I've said it, Pete. You know, I've said it, Pete. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, I've always been good at doing what I want to do, and stuff takes care of itself. I should be to quote millionaire for how much I fucking did during the lockdown for fucking people and stuff. It's like, nah, they fucked me. Yeah, Chigger knows it. They didn't forgive me. I'm not a victim. But it's like I'm not smart enough to monetize this shit. You know what I mean?
I'm just happy I met the famous George Chigger. Good man right there.
I love George. Chigger came to my last show. We got hammered. I passed out my room, and he's like, I had a giant bed we could have both slept in, and I like sleep with George Chigger, and I passed out in my apartment because I fucking whatever in the room, and he had this. He's like, whatever. He's got my credit card though, so it's worth it.
And by the way, the people in the chat are saying lefties are trying to gain clout by doing these things.
What happened? Oh, there you go, Pete.
They're trying to all do this, and yeah, they're going to gain something, I guess, among the tiny percent of the population who still looks at it like they're doing something. But by far, most of the people are like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you doing that? And they're like us, and they're happy that security took the guy down. Like E.K. Legend said, nobody knew who he was. He thinks who he is, and everybody, we don't know who he is. You got to be like, stop it. So they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep getting beat up. Or whatever's going to go on, they're going to cry about it, and it's going to be gone when the next story hits. The Israel-Iraq thing will be going on. Trump will get something else done. I believe they're going to pass the rescission. They're going to pass the Doge cuts in the rescission bill. Trump signed a bill the other day getting rid of the EV mandates, and he signed it into law. He said, courts can't come after me. Nobody. This was passed by Congress, and I'm signing it. That's it. And that's how more stuff needs to be done. So, we hit on the 3 congressmen testifying in Walz, and they're all pieces of garbage, trying to get their Democratic clout. The thing that nobody's saying, or I should say we haven't hit on yet, people are saying it, is that the problem with all these illegals is they're letting them vote, and it affects the balance of power in Congress, because your population determines how many people you have in Congress and how many votes you get in the Electoral College. So if you take all that out, it shouldn't be there, the illegals, it changes it, and the states that vote conservative will have more votes. The states that are breakneck leftist lunatic commies will have less votes. And the country will get back to where it needs to be. And Fitzy McFitzy, maybe the dollar will collapse, but I guess the Fed will just keep printing more of it. So even though we'll have to buy a loaf of bread with a wheelbarrow full of money, we'll have the wheelbarrow full of money.
Sure. Well, of course, Loads. Of course.
So I just that's the thing that people are missing. Did you see the clip? Guy owned some sort of food processing plant in Idaho, I think. Idaho or somewhere. He got raided. And he's like, the reporter's like, why didn't you stop them from coming in? He's like, it's a raid. What are you kidding me? And they're like, what did you ask for their search warrant? They're like, do you not get what a raid is? He gave his name. He gave his phone number. He said, we verified everybody. And the problem is E-Verify, which is set up by the government, is corrupted. So, and people in the chat were like, well, this guy's guilty too. He just has plausible. No, E-Verify is what they give business people to use to vet their employees. If it's crooked, it's the government that's crooked, not him. He's got to get people to work for him. How's he know?
Right.
Yeah, so, and I think, like you said, all the people here legally are voting for Trump. The only people who are voting for the Democrats are the illegals who shouldn't be voting. Only citizens vote. If you believe illegals should vote, you should be sending ballots to the entire world, because it's just a matter of them getting here and they'd be able to vote. You know what I mean? If you're in Mexico, but you can get across the border, you can vote. So why don't you send them the ballot in Mexico? It's silly. Silly. Yeah, Corsica's got it. They're getting they're getting Social Security numbers from dead people, or Biden was giving out Social Security numbers. Either way, yeah, Blood Harvester, I cannot. I'm interested in seeing what goes down tomorrow. By the way, the dishonesty.
What do you think's going to go down tomorrow? Like, It really, like, I love that they keep using the phrase "the summer of love" because it is true. The Democrats, and by the way, the Dems do like to riot during the fucking warmer months. And I'll say it again: if you haven't seen fucking the fall of Minneapolis and you don't understand why you love, like, let me put it a different way: you'll love watching Tim Walz be fed his cunt even more. Because he's so responsible for what went on and the George Floyd shit, and that's why you fucking trip yourself up. His reward for fucking everything up was like, we'll give you the VP thing. Pete, tell him who should have been the Democratic VP.
Shapiro from Pennsylvania, but they wouldn't let him. He's probably going to be their candidate for president, although he's Jewish, so they might not let him. But he was popular. Again, he said some things in Pennsylvania and then went back on him. Like he supported. Not private schools, but charter schools, parents doing their own things with schools, and then he went back on it. So that's one of the things. You would ask me something else. The E-Verify thing we talked about. Yeah, they were giving out Social Security numbers. Oh, what's going to happen this weekend? Jeez, I'm hoping the Bergamot solves this. But at any rate, I think in certain cities it'll be bad, or it all depends what you mean. What are they going to portray on the news? Like, I think in Philly it might be bad. Maybe what other big cities? New York will have some bad spots. I think the left will report it as it's only in certain spots. I think most of it in like these towns around New Jersey. I don't think you're going to hear stories out of the Ocean County Mall in New Jersey or places like that. In the big cities, that's where they're going to make it's going to make their noise, try and make their point. And I'm hoping that the feds and the cops are just going to come out and squash it. Soon as somebody steps out of line, and I don't care. Yeah, you're killing flies with sledgehammers and sending a message. Somebody steps out of line, they're put down in a violent and painful way and bring the next guy. And eventually, if you want to get paid your $12,000 to do that, okay. But I don't believe there are enough of them now. There's more of us. And I'm not
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Go on, I agree.
I am not going to be surprised. I am not going to be surprised if we hear, or we may not hear, that there's some good citizens who take things in their own hands as much as they can. And tell people, look, you can do what you want, but if you come near me, my property, whatever, it's going to be handled. You know what I mean? And if you threaten me, like, people aren't going to have it anymore. That's what people are not going to have it anymore. And
I think that's just it. It's like this goes all the way back to what I said earlier. It's like that white guilt bullshit, and we're on empty with this. It's like you're not like that's why you show that cop Matt fucking Ivy out of Florida going like you fucking take a swing at one of our police officers. You're going to go to the hospital and then get arrested. What's the other thing? Probably when one of our beautiful dogs chews your arm. By the way, Mr. White says you can protest with him anytime under a pink blanket, big brother.
I look forward to it, Mr. White. What I will say is, I don't want to be misunderstood.
It'll be Mr. White and Mr. Making White. Am I right, Peter?
Oh my God!
See, there you go. Finally,
you're right, Dago. In New Jersey, you can have guns. Dago, it's very difficult, but you can. What I was going to say, Dago, with the no Marines, I don't disagree with that. I don't believe the military should be turned on American people. I don't disagree with that, and it'd look bad.
So you don't think? Whoa! I got to interrupt you. So you don't think Trump should have brought the Marines in?
No, I didn't say that. You didn't let me finish.
No, I don't know what you said. Explain that.
I read Title 10, and I believe he is absolutely within his powers, Trump, to bring in.
Last title I read was Curious George. Go on. Not that good.
The last thing I read the Title 9, and basically the president is given the power to federalize the National Guard to protect federal buildings or federal interests. And what I understood in LA, the police chief said they didn't have other things under control. ICE officers were being attacked, and the police weren't protecting those ICE officers. ICE officers are federal agents. Trump has the right to protect federal agents, and he can federalize the National Guard to do so. So to bring in the Marines, I mean, it would have to be it would have to be like the end of it would have to be Armageddon over there. It would something unforeseen, serious would have to happen. I can't even think of at that point. But I have no problem, and I believe he is well within his rights, and so did the last court, to federalize the National Guard in California and LA for this situation. And if the Marines are the next step to protect the National Guard, I'm not sure about that, but it would have to be. I mean, think about how serious it would have to be. You would have to have like National Guardsmen being shot and killed for them to say, okay, now it's just anarchy there. We need to bring the Marines. That's all I'm saying. But to have them on the ready, and if the Marines are protecting buildings after the fact, but they have it. The visual I get would be bad, but it would have to be something absolutely unforeseen to me to bring in the Marines. National Guard, no problem with it. They were in the National Guard in the South in the 60s to segregate. But
now I'm confused again. So you think he should have brought in the Marines, or you don't? I'm sorry, I'm so dense with this.
I don't.
Okay, so is it a bad look that he did?
No, he didn't bring in the Marines. He said they're getting the Marines ready. I don't think he should bring them in. Like what Dago says, they don't fall under the Comitas Posse thing, Posse Comitatus thing. I'm saying you got the National Guard. That's what you need. And I can't envision what needs to happen for it to be so bad you have to activate the Marines. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't even understand what condition, because my understanding is, I guess, like Dago, you cannot use U.S. troops against U.S. citizens. And the National Guard are not necessarily U.S. troops. That's what I'm saying. You understand that? But as far as the National Guard, I don't care if they start taking people out. Because the police is step number one. And, let Dago call, Gene, because I'm interested in what he has to say.
What? I don't even know where my phone is, Peter.
Well, that's that. You're unbelievable.
Well,
So
no,
anyway,
why do I need my phone for this? I can check my messages on here, and I ain't taking calls right now.
Okay.
Like, they have all week to call into the show. I don't have time to fucking find my fucking phone.
And again, he was.
Hold on, talk to him, Pete. Fine, I'll go find my phone. Hold the fuck on.
Yeah. Of course, yes, Lincoln didn't have a problem using soldiers against citizens, but they were in outright rebellion. They had seceded from the Union, so they were no longer U.S. citizens, according to them. They had their own president, their own leadership. So when he used against the South, they weren't citizens of the Union. And when they brought him back in, the Republicans tried to, keep the rule of law in the South and everything else. And then you had the election, I think it was 1870, where they gave the election to Hayes for the Republicans to get the troops out of the South so the Democrats could keep, the slaves down and everything. And again, they didn't have any problem in the 60s when they brought the National Guard in the South to desegregate the schools. You know what I mean? So that's that wasn't a problem. And this, to me, is a bigger problem. This is affecting everybody. So they should have the National Guard to make sure they can get the illegals out. And again, like I said, we grew up on a farm, all this stuff with farm workers or whatever. There was a way to do that in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So it's not like there's no way to do that now without everybody doing
Go for Geno and MAXXX loads. Sorry, Joey Dago. I was trying to be healthy. I jumped rope right before we did the stream and just left my phone lying somewhere weird. What's up, buddy?
Okay, I think hold on, let me lower the TV. I don't want to be an amateur.
By the way, were you getting if I may, Joey Dago, thank you so much. Sorry, I couldn't find my phone. What was I going to say? Were you getting a ticket when you sent that picture?
It seems they want you to keep up with your registration. Fucking bullshit.
We should have closed with that. At any rate, talk to Loads. What's up, my dear friend?
What he didn't like is when I said, "Are you collecting tax for the crown?"
Is it the weekend of kings, as they say, my friend?
Okay, so here's my point. I think what they're doing is they're playing semantics. Posse Comitatus and all of that basically only covers the Army and the Air Force. Now, yes, they've released troops on U.S. soil before, and it still wasn't fucking right. I understand you don't have the tops and the state level guys, but you have all of the other federal resources to use before you use active duty Marines.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that 100%.
Sure.
That's what I was trying to say. I can't envision what would have to happen for it to get to the Marines.
Right. But it's also, look, Trump's a bold dude. He's like, it's his way. It's him trolling the left, saying, nope, I'm going to do it. That's how bad it's gotten. And it shouldn't even get, and you can't prove he's wrong, and I'm not saying he's right, but we shouldn't be having this discussion. We should not be having a state, and I'm sure you'll agree, Joey Dago, where it's like, well, the cops are told not to interfere with ICE. You know, in Florida, they deputized all the cops as ICE agents. Yes. So when you get pulled over and you're an illegal immigrant, they don't do this fucking faggoty horse shit where they're like, well, I don't have any jurisdiction. They let him go and never see him again. So again, I don't care what Trump did, whether it was right or wrong. The fact that he can do it and we can debate it is because that state is such a bloody fucking cunt hole. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I know we all agree. It's not like I'm fighting with you. Sorry.
It's disgusting that we're having a conversation on whether U.S. troops should be on fucking home soil. Yes, you're right. It's a disgusting conversation that shouldn't be fucking had.
Ask Dago. Ask him, because I'm interested.
Hear you.
Does he see? I can't see any situation where you would turn the Marines on the people of the country, and that's what I was trying to say. Does he? Can he think of anything that would cause that to happen?
Joey?
I didn't hear a word he said.
He said, do you think there's any situation, and correct me if I get it wrong, Pete, where like these Marines could turn on the citizens of their own country?
I didn't know. Right? You got it wrong.
Stop it, Joey. Don't answer. Ask it again. I'll pay better attention because I thought he could.
I didn't say turn on. Is there any situation that he could see where it would be okay for the Marines to come in? Because I cannot. That's what I'm saying.
An absolute obvious need for them to intervene.
Right. Then what would that be? I agree. What would that be?
If something catastrophic happens.
Then we're on the same page. That's exactly what I was saying. Yes. Right. And I can't even envision.
I don't want to say bomb because that's a broad statement.
Right.
Right.
But it's something that would require them to want something that would require us to call the National Guard in anyway. How about that?
That's what I was saying to Gene. That's exactly where I am. I can't even envision what the situation would need to be for it to be so bad you would bring in the Marines on the American people.
The only time I think they should, other than a disaster, is if the guys are just overwhelmed.
Okay.
If they're just fucking absolutely overwhelmed. And at that point, you know what? You are an enemy combatant.
Yes. Oh, right. You are an insurrectionist, an enemy combatant, the whole thing. And I don't believe there are enough of them to create that situation.
You need them to do something stupid.
Well, that's true. That's like you said, if they put off a bomb in a place where there are a bunch of cops and National Guard, and then you've got the upper, you know what I mean? Then there are more of them than the forces. That would be a problem.
So, Max, let me ask you something. What do you want me to do with all these ghost guns that I printed for you?
Unlike Gene there, I actually have my license. I went and got my license. However, I did not. I still have my license for a long gun. You get the deal, right? In New Jersey, my license for a handgun.
I hear a word he's saying.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry because we don't have the thing.
Tell him this. I got my license. My handgun license expired, but my long gun license is good forever in New Jersey. You can tell him that.
Did you hear that, Joey?
I heard something expired.
He's got a long gun license. All right, we're not having a genuine conversation. We can't do it. Keanu needs to go do fucking our boy. Love you, buddy. Drive safe. Sorry about that. Hey, what's that, Pete?
You can tell Dago to email me.
Yeah, just email him. Yeah, Sweet Lou, if the pink blanket was pulled up. Erroneous! I don't even know what that is. All right, boom. Oh, good Lord. Oh, now fucking, where am I? Jesus Christ, am I on the right page? All right, we got to wrap it up because we gave them fucking 2.5 hours, basically. Oh, they're crying about me in Kevin Brennan's chat. St. Rangers, like Geno yelled for over 10 minutes and then he took the stream down. Now it's up on Rumble. St. Rangers guy's like, yeah, Pat Dixon's doing a hell of a job. Ended already. Ended already, ruining Kevin's show already. Baby, you ready to go? Yeah. All right. Loads, hey, Long Gun. LOADZZZ Long Gun. Do your plugs, Pete.
I never thought I'd be accused of ruining Kevin Brennan's show. It's amazing.
He does that on his own.
It's amazing what goes on. But
you did not run long, Joey. I just couldn't coordinate. And I'm trying to get Keanu into the other thing. And we did 2.5 hours, so we're good. And again, here's what I'm going to do. I'll put the first 45 minutes up, but the fucking full show is only for the subs. You guys are the schmoopest. All right, Pete. Have fun with Ed Sheeran and Uncle Greg. Make sure Uncle Greg gets drunk and sends me some videos. What?
Hey, Flag Day this weekend. Flag Day. Trump's birthday. 250th anniversary of the Army. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks for all the super chats and the subs. I love when you guys give subs. I'll be doing a cigar stream tomorrow. You're the best, Loads. Later, everyone. Go over to Kevin's place and watch my
Happy Father's Day.
Bullshit.